Even offer 24-month interest-free financing. Text 1041 to 868686 and let the Philadelphia Eye Institute get you started on a path to better vision today.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
My name is Jason Williams. It was a rainy day, and I got hit from behind by a lady that was doing somewhere over 100 miles an hour is what they were saying. I've never dealt with anything like this before. Everybody that I talked to kept saying the same name, which was Morgan & Morgan. I was on hold for maybe 15 seconds. When they come back and said, Jason, we will absolutely take your case. As a non-tech savvy guy, I was able to navigate through all this stuff easily. Any question that I had, if I called, text, or emailed, they got right back to me. They made it as easy for me as it could have been.
Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. With over 2 million phone calls last year alone, more people in more cities across America want more Morgan & Morgan. When you hire Morgan & Morgan, you're also hiring a family business. And after 35 years, we now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The best team of certified pre-owned Nissans. They're at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Radio.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Monday, September 25th, 2023. Lots to get to today, from It's All Over Now to a woman's hair gets caught in a Ferris wheel and Pope Francis gets really pissed off. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello there.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's going on?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message rolling right into the studio in real time. How is everybody doing on a Monday?
Pretty good.
Sore. I'm dying, man.
Do some twerking?
Day drinking is not good for me anymore. I'll tell you that. My God.
But that Bloody Mary saved my life yesterday.
We're all together for once on the weekend for C-Lane's baby shower yesterday, and everybody's hanging out. You know, the sun's beating down on us. It was a beautiful day, and I started just hammering White Claws, and then there was some other like delicious shots, and oh my God, the spread was amazing.
It was
actually.
beautiful.
Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. It was a good time. It was a lot of work, and then the day drinking part also helped out with that. We ran out of White Claws. I was like, by the end of it,
my fault.
There was an entire tub of that.
Yeah.
There was like 50 of them. What do you mean?
By the end of it, like my cousins were like, "Yo, Christopher, do you know where any of the secret White Claw stash is?" And I was like, reaching into the back of refrigerators, like, I think there might be one. Here you go. All right, it's a random flavor, but enjoy it.
Well, Courtney and I went back, we had something to eat, and then we're hanging around. And then at night, we didn't drink anything. We were just sitting here watching some movies, hanging out and whatnot. And all of a sudden, it's like, it's time to go to bed. I go, damn, I'm not tired. Like, I haven't had anything to drink tonight, really, and I'm not tired. I laid in bed until I think I finally fell asleep at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, my gosh.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, man, this is like screwing up my clock. My internal clock is sideways right now. So I'm running on only a little bit of sleep. I feel good, though. I mean, otherwise.
You're getting that second wave.
But
I need it.
all the work that we had to do, like setting that thing up, and then then actually doing the thing, and then when I got home and like Ashley went to bed, and she's like, "Remember, we got to this appointment in the morning, and so don't stay up too late." And I was like, "Yeah, fine." I hit the couch and I was out.
Oh, God.
Night.
Did you make the appointment this morning?
I did, yeah.
Oh, good. How'd it go?
How'd the baby look?
It looked like a baby. It showed his balls again, and it's
Baby balls.
5 pounds 7 ounces.
He does want to do that, doesn't he? He wants to show off a little bit. All right, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to the President of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Joe Biden was speaking at an event, and he decided to talk a little bit about the world of rap. And, things went as one would imagine. Here he goes.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America,
Hip-hop.
LL Cool J.
Joe.
So close.
LLJ Cool.
As they call him, LLJ Cool J. He just kept going with the name. It's just rambled on with it.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LLJ Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's
What, dude?
Great.
Everything going all right over here? LLJ
Call
Cool
it Don't
J.
Come Back, baby.
Yeah, and now he's going to change his name so he can stay up with all of this. Meanwhile, staying up in the world of sports, because we are tops in the world of sports. Number one sports broadcasters in the world right here. 100% accuracy in all sports with all balls. And, of course, we watched the historic game yesterday.
Buddy.
Almost a world record yesterday. The Dolphins are like crazy right now. They won 70-20. 70-20. That's a lot of points in a football game, man.
Yeah, my Dolphins, baby.
And who is this coach of theirs?
Number one.
Who's what?
Who is this coach? The coach of the Dolphins is like this younger guy. I like him already. I watched his speech to the Dolphins afterwards, talking to the players in the locker room. And the guy could have easily gone for the record in the most points scored in an NFL game, which I think was held by Washington at just a couple more points than they had with the 70 points. And 72 was the record. But they decided to kneel the ball for a couple of plays because they wanted to do the right thing and not run the score up more. And the fans at the Dolphin Stadium actually booed them for not going further and further kicking the asses of the Denver Broncos, as if it wasn't enough already with a 50-point spread between the two of them at 70-20. Pretty damn impressive. They're 3-0 now. And here's this coach that I'm liking on a little bit, who was in the locker room talking to him afterwards.
You got a little coach crush?
Spade a spade.
Yeah, I like him.
That's a historic victory, okay? And what I want you guys to understand and take from it is it's about our standard, nothing else. Okay?
He's the tiniest little thing for a football coach.
Numbers.
He looks young, right? He's a young dude, clearly.
He looks like Logic, the rapper.
He does, but he's got their attention. He seems to have rallied these players, and he's doing a kick-ass job.
Today, because you didn't give a about the scoreboard. Okay? Defense, literally, any time that we shortchanged ourselves, you guys came up with the play, and then we piggybacked. We're just getting started.
Yeah.
I am so proud of everyone. I want you guys to enjoy it, but keep it in perspective. It is a third win. We care about our standard, and our standard only.
Hey, boy. We got to keep building this, man. Hey, fans on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there they go.
Fans, baby.
And you know what's going to happen now? You're going to have so many bandwagoners start to come on this team who have not cared about the Miami Dolphins for God knows how long. because they were losing for so long. And now, all of a sudden, damn, 70 points. That is just absolutely wild to see. We had that, and also over the weekend, as I suspected, they wrapped up everything. They just got to dot the I's, cross the T's, and then the writer's strike is going to be over for the deal to become official, because they got like a tentative deal right now to get back in action. And my guess on this was, I believe right, on Friday when I was talking, I said, I think the reason they pressured the Drew Barrymore show and they pressured Real Time with Bill Maher, or whatever his show's called now, they pressured all these shows to stop, to not come back, was because they were right there. They thought they were on the 1 yard line to get the deal they were looking for. And they let them know, hey, come on, it's just going to be a couple more days and we're going to wrap all this up. And so they pushed back on things. And they got the deal this weekend. It was a 5-month strike. Is that longer than the other one, C-Lane? 5 months?
Yeah.
So this is the longer one. And they said for the deal to become official, around 11,500 members of the Writers Guild of America need to ratify it, but they're going to do that anyhow. And then they just push it through, and the writers are back to work. That does not put the actors back to work. That does not fix all of the problems. But the content shortage may be a little bit shorter than one would have imagined. We'll see what happens. I know. It's some good news in the direction of more stuff. We need the stuff to distract us from the bad stuff. The good stuff to distract us from the bad stuff is what we're looking for.
Well said.
I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing
Thank
a
you.
lot
Put it on a
of
bumper sticker.
a lot of foreign shows that are like making the top 10. I just finished Dear Child, which is this German show that is I think number 1, number 2 on Netflix series. It's a limited series. I think 5 or 6 episodes.
Subtitles?
I did subtitle and overdub. The overdub, give it an episode to get used to. Because it is harsh.
Okay.
Like, there's a little girl that is one of the main characters, and the voice just does not match. But it was a great show. I mean, a lot of twists and turns, and really effed up if you think about it. I'm like, all right, I have to get used to this because the writers and the actors are still on strike. I mean, the actors are at least.
Yeah, the actors are now. And so what the writers will get back to work within a week or so. And then they will start with new projects that then the actors, when they make their deal, can start acting in, and production can get back to work on a bunch of stuff that was already moving, including, hopefully, the second season of the show that I have been watching, Silo. I want that to come back faster than ever.
Yes, please, and thank you.
I'm ready for it. We went out to the movies again this weekend. We've been movie crazy, Courtney and I, and we went to see Dumb Money, which is still like pretty limited release, but we found a place that was playing it. And that's the movie. This is weird for us because we covered this when it was happening. Like, we covered all the GameStop stuff. Do you remember when?
Yes.
And one of the things featured in it is when Robinhood, the Robinhood app, made it so you could not buy GameStop stock.
Yeah.
You couldn't buy the GameStop stock.
They put a stop
You
on the
could only
GameStop
sell
stock.
it. Yes, and they talk about this. They go through all the behind the scenes. Seth Rogen was really good at it, I thought. Like, he stayed in that billionaire role really well. And I thought it was good. Was it anything crazy? No, but like any of these books, there are movies that are brought about by books from Ben Mesrich, who, if you've never heard of him, he writes a ton of books that they then turn into movies.
He was behind The Social Network. Mm-hmm. He also wrote the book Bringing Down the House, which is one of the last books that I read for fun.
The poker
years
book.
And years ago. Yes, it turned into the movie 21, I believe, because there was already a movie called Bringing Down the House starring Queen Latifah. So they changed it to 21. But he wrote that was a fascinating book about the MIT blackjack team that counted cards and took a bunch of casinos for a whole bunch of money.
So much of this stuff turns out to be the little guy versus the big guy. You know, the card players versus the casino. In this case, regular stock traders versus the billionaires who are shorting all of these stocks. And they do their best to rally you up to want to be against this stuff. And it's easy to be against it. I was explaining afterwards what shorting stocks is to Courtney. And I was like, this is such an insane thing that we have people that do this. You root against American companies. You root for the companies to crumble and fail. And when they do, and everybody who's invested in them lose their money, the people who have shorted these companies make money off the failures of businesses. And they do even worse than that. In some of these cases, there's a lot of people who short Tesla. And then what they'll do is they'll seed a bunch of stories in the media about like, oh, Tesla autopilot gone wild, and stories that are half made up.
It's getting naked?
They'll get all of these different press outlets to do a negative piece on the company because they're invested in the company failing. And I hate that kind of stuff. But I thought it was pretty good.
Sounds like it should be illegal.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It's like, or it's just like, it's un-American kind of. Right? Like, it seems un-American to root against American companies. And I'm not a fan of that. Just to watch them crumble and watch your monies go up. This is for you, C-Lane.
That's not the American dream.
Your favorite Lee Greenwood.
What if your child absolutely loves this song?
We can force that.
Like
we can force that.
Like he's just screaming, crying, and the only way to stop the crying is to play Lee Greenwood on repeat.
I like it. We can make that happen, I
Don't
think.
love that idea.
All right.
Sounds like a bad idea.
Your dispatches are rolling in already on a Monday. And when we come back, the Pope got mad. The Pope got pissed off this weekend, slapping his hand down.
He didn't see you singing.
I've never been that. I'll tell you what it was that set off Pope Francis, the 86-year-old Pope, over the weekend, and you'll hear from him. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
You're asking an awful lot of that magic eraser. For some extra elbow grease, tell your smart speaker to play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your weekend went well and your Monday's off to a great start on the major highways and roads of Orlando. Right now, a few things going on you should know about. There is an incident on Hoffner Avenue between Goldenrod and Semorin Boulevard, so give yourself extra time there. Also, Cayley Street between Rio Grande and OBT. Also, Silver Star and westbound before Hiawassee Road, and of course your usual delay on I-4 approaching State Road 535. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black with your report.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Shop Klein Tools and get 5 times the bonus points. Lowe's knows pros. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid 9/18 through 9/29, subject to change. DeWalt offer valid through 10/11.
The biggest stars in all of music shared the stage at our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Brought to you by Capital One.
Let me hear you.
Foo Fighters.
Fall Out Boy.
Kelly Clarkson.
Kane Brown.
Lil Wayne. Lil Durk. Lenny Kravitz.
Miguel.
Public Enemy.
Cheryl Crow.
Travis Scott. Tim McGraw.
TLC.
30 Seconds to Mars.
The most massive live music event of the year.
See all the action now at iHeartRadio.com/festival. And get ready to relive it with an iHeartRadio Music Festival special.
Streaming on Hulu next month.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get a 10-pack of our best-selling sauces with free shipping at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
Consumer Cellular's award-winning customer support is 100% based in the U.S., and you are 100% based in the U.S. That's something you have in common with Consumer Cellular's customer service. Consumer Cellular's customer service likes pizza, and you like pizza. You want a free month of service, and we want to give you one. We obviously can't wait to hear from you. Visit consumercellular.com/free month and enter code FREEMONTH to get your second month free. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Promotion is subject to terms and conditions.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
90% of us don't brush long enough. Around half don't brush twice a day, and 75% brush with old, worn-out bristles. The Quip electric toothbrush fixes that. It has timed sonic vibrations that aren't like a jackhammer, a nifty cover for brushing on the go, and a wireless design that mounts to mirrors. We also deliver brush heads and supplies from $5. Choose an electric toothbrush accepted by the American Dental Association. Shop Quip from $25 and get your first refill free at getquip.com/star.
Celebrate National Bourbon Heritage Month at Christner's Prime Steak and Lobster. Enhance your legendary dining experience with an array of Christner's custom bourbons. Try the new Heaven's Door barrel-aged old-fashioned cocktail and enjoy the signature Heaven's Door profile of sweet citrus and dry spice, followed by allspice and a hint of sherry. Ask your server or our in-house sommelier for custom bourbon selections and pairings. Every day is a special occasion at Christner's. Visit Christner'sPrimeSteakandLobster.com for reservations.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
It's one thing to suffer from allergies as an adult, but it's really tough on kids running around with sniffles or stuffy nose during recess or practice. Not to mention, it's hard to concentrate in school when you're not feeling well, and then you feel bad because you forgot to give them their allergy meds before they left. All of that can be a thing of the past thanks to Aspire Allergy and Sinus. They've helped thousands, including children, with their kid-friendly allergy testing and pain-free allergy drops. Schedule your appointment today while the kids are out of school. Go to AspireAllergy.com. That's AspireAllergy.com.
iHeart Podcast Update. This week on your free iHeartRadio app. Unimaginable Season 2. Your host Mike sits down with the world's most important chief executives to answer your most pressing questions about leadership, career, and life. The Mark Moss Show, helping you navigate cryptocurrency, business, and financial markets, and more. Sharp Money. This show explores 2 unique approaches to betting, broadcasting, and life with VSIN fan favorites Patrick Meager and Amal Shaw. Hear these podcasts and more on your free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Confession time. I secretly really enjoy something very terrible, and that is when you're watching sports. Like, you know, I'm disconnected from the sports world, obviously. We make fun of that all the time around here. But when you're watching sports, there's always an amazing juxtaposition, especially in the game like we talked about earlier where the Dolphins won 70-20, right? You just like look up the scoreboard and how dejected are you as a player on the opposing team looking at that? And I so enjoy the dichotomy of you have one side that is like so happy and celebrating and they're so excited, and then the cameras go to the other side
and they're so dejected, and they're so...
It's embarrassing.
They're just like crying, and the fans are like tearing up, and it's like only one team can be happy. That's how it works, you know? Not everybody gets to win the game.
Sure, but typically it's not that big of a stretch between the losing team's score and the winning team. Last time we saw that big of a divide, I think it was like a high school football game, not a professional sports team.
Yeah, this is a really big gap. 50 points difference between the 70 that the Dolphins had and the 20 that Denver had. And I'll give you an example of what the other side looks like. And this, I feel bad about this. I do, honestly. This is one of the linemen for Denver, and he's in the locker room.
Oh, buddy.
He's so sad. And he's so upset that he's just lost this game. And
me no happy.
Sorry,
damn
get rid of
it,
that.
Sean.
I only do the next sentence that he said. All right, hopefully he doesn't curse again.
No, come on, what are you doing?
I want to hear the rest of it.
No, you heard some of it.
Review the audio.
I couldn't during the break. I couldn't hear it. I just saw the quote of what he said. All right, the first word he said was the S word, just so everybody knows. Okay, so they go, "What are your emotions after this loss?" And he says, "S word," and then hopefully he doesn't curse again.
I feel like if the first word out of his mouth is the S word, he's going to throw in a couple more curse words. But
why does that happen with my clips so many times? I'm like, oh, you got to hear this. And there's like, bam, right out of the gate, something that you definitely can't play on the radio.
Oh, my dear God. His second word was the same word. All right, we're done.
Okay, I'll just
There's
give
no
you the
dump
quote.
left, dude.
No, I'll just give you the quote. He says, I've been here for
I don't know if you
years.
should give us the quote.
That is something else.
He says,
my
I've
gosh,
been
is
here.
it your first day?
He said, the quote is all that they put up on this thing. They didn't put that he said the S word twice. Like, my God. We're in the middle of Dump City right now. Well,
Yeah,
you know,
big time.
Everything will catch back up here in a moment. But he said, I've been here for 7 years and all I've done is lost, is his quote. And this poor dejected dude in the Denver Broncos
filthy
locker
mouth.
room.
Goodness.
Yeah, he is not happy after this particular game. And all right, so let's not curse anymore.
No,
for
you're
a
not
little
playing
while.
it anymore, right?
At least, no, I'm not playing that clip anymore. I got rid of that one. You get what's going on. Jean on YouTube says the sync's off. Yeah, that'll happen when we hit the dump button twice. It's going to happen, and then it'll catch up eventually. So just deal with it. We go now over to the Pope, who they said the Pope got mad. Hopefully the Pope
Is he
doesn't curse.
cursing? All right.
I don't believe he does. But the Pope was waiting for the French president, Emmanuel Macron, to visit him. And he was like in this meeting room, and the Pope just had this look on his face like, they're making me wait? I'm the Pope, for
Do
God's
you know
sake.
who I am?
He's sitting there, and they bring him out of his wheelchair, bring him on over to this chair that he's going to sit in. He looks a little feeble, this Pope here.
Or it's cursing up a storm again. Why not just roll the wheelchair where the seat is?
I don't know, but he's taking forever to get to this. Oh, almost. And he's going to fall in his little Pope suit into the chair. But he's the Pope, man. You don't make the Pope wait for anything. There he goes. It gets angry. Like, you can see it in his face. He looked over at the seat that the French president was supposed to be sitting in. He's like, wait, there's nobody sitting here yet. What the hell's going on here? He is not thrilled with this whole thing. They said at one point he bangs his hand down on the armrest. And finally, the French president comes into the room. And then he's like, oh, no big deal. No, I'm happy, super happy, Pope. And to make that good, we all know.
Where the hell were you?
You just have to get somebody to sing for the Pope, because that's what the Pope is most into. He loves it, and he wants to hear people sing.
I would like to hear you sing.
I would like to hear you sing.
I would like to hear you sing.
So maybe that'll cheer him up after his meeting with the president of France. It was a little bit late. Sonic the Hedgehog style, kind of tapping his toes there, upset that things weren't on time.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he does that.
Yeah.
Mario used to just take a little nappy.
Yeah, I like when they did that with the characters in video games, because I would always see it, because I would always like throw down the controller because I sucked at the game, and I would eventually see what that little scene looked like. Meanwhile, I don't know how we would perform in this particular challenge. We're not the most sporty of radio shows.
How dare you?
I do know that, there's some things that we might be good at if we were out there on the field, and you might excel. Like, I don't know, maybe if we had a kickball team, we might be okay, or...
you would be surprised. We tried a kickball team after we missed the deadline for the co-ed softball team.
Mm-hmm.
They kicked our asses.
Oh, no, it was bad.
Like top of the top athletes. We looked like idiots.
Did you say the S word twice afterwards in an interview?
I sure did.
I could imagine that would be coming that way. Though this one, we may do a little more impressive at in terms of our performance, because right now, the Festival of Laziness is underway.
Ooh.
In Montenegro, where this goes on every single year. And the challenge is easy. Whoever can lie down for the longest period of time wins $1,000. All right? Not a huge prize. It's $1,000.
Is it just like everyone's all together lying down?
Yeah, you know what it looks like? It looks like that scene in, I always screw this up, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Which is it? Which one's right?
Well,
where they're all lying
which one
down?
are you talking about?
The one with the old man in the bed,
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or whatever. In that movie, when you go in and you see his whole family, they're all lying in those big giant beds and nobody's doing a damn thing, and they're all completely out of it. That's what the room looks like where the Festival of Laziness is going on. It's a hotel, and there's a bunch of beds all in one room, and there's all these people who are just lying down on mattresses and doing absolutely nothing with hopes of collecting the $1,000 prize.
Do you get, is the point to you get so bored that you stand up, or what's the deal here?
You get bored, or you just go, I got things to do in my life. I want to go hang out with my family or something.
What about the bathroom?
Yeah, there's got to be some bathroom breaks.
Yeah, you're allowed to get up and you're allowed to go to the bathroom. You can have your phone with you, so you can stare at your phone or whatever you want to do. And out of the 21 contestants who entered the Festival of Laziness in Montenegro, there are 4 still remaining in the challenge. How long do you think they've spent in these beds so far in the Festival of Laziness? How far has this gone to get down to 4 final competitors for $1,000?
I'm thinking 8 days.
I was going to go 6.
6 days for C-Lane, 8 days for Sabrina.
I feel like we're going to be way low.
It's been over a month.
Oh,
and they're still in these beds.
Do they not have jobs?
I guess
all this
not.
for $1,000?
One of them said, a beautician, 23 years old, Lydia Markovic. She says, I've been here for over 800 hours so far, and they're battling it out and trying to win that $1,000 prize. Okay, let's hear from you and see what you got going on after a nice weekend. Monday has arrived, and here is Guitar Slinger hanging out with us today.
Everybody's concerned with the age of the current president and the age of some people in Congress and the House, and I agree, it's a concern. But you bring up the Pope, nobody seems to care if that guy's 100 zillion years old, man.
That's tradition, man.
And remember,
yeah, they're always old.
His own country. Vatican City is its own country. He is technically a head of state. But the guy is so old, he farts dust, but nobody seems to care.
He's 86, Pope Francis is. And you would think that they would get a young pope just because the process of making a pope is a long-ass thing.
Yeah, but to be even considered takes a very, very long time.
You got to be 1,000,000 years old to even get up in the ranks where you might be able to achieve popedom or pope status or whatever they call it when you get there.
I think nobody really hems and haws over the age of the pope because it's something born out of a long tradition that and plus you're pope till you die unless you were like the one really scary looking pope that resigned. Yeah. What was that guy's name?
Ratzenberger?
Yeah, Ratzenberger. That wasn't his pope name, but yeah, Ratzenberger. And then also I think people go the people that want to kind of separate their politics and their religion go, well, it's not really like a real country, right?
Oh, no, how dare you? The Vatican City is a real country.
I agree that it's a real country, but I think people just they don't think of it as a political system because it's a religious order.
I think of the Pope Mobile more than I think of anything, if I'm honest with you. That's where my mind goes when I think about this. But he's 86 years old, and it looked like it was pretty difficult, the task of him getting into that seat. Here is Chuckles. He says there's a missed opportunity.
When Sean stated about Tesla's gone wild, why? Did it turn on the flashers?
No.
Ooh, can I dump that?
No, too many dumps already. I mean, they have to be forced to deal with the terribleness of that dispatch. Simmer in it, everybody, as Douglas jumps in. He says, writers are hypocrites.
Hey, News Junkies. What I find weird about them pressuring Bill Maher not to come back and for them to support the writers and the actors, but now the writers are coming back. Why aren't they supporting the actors and staying on strike till they get their deal done?
Ooh.
Seems a little weird.
We don't have time for this.
Pop.
I don't know, honestly. I don't know how it all works. Maybe they want them to. Maybe the actors thing is not as complicated. It might be that their set of demands is not nearly as complicated and difficult to sift through. Because remember, the writers are in such a different world now. We are today in the week when Netflix will be sending out its final ever DVDs. And everybody gets to keep those when Netflix sends those out. And since those days, there's been such a huge shift in how everybody on the planet consumes content, right? So you watch TV shows on demand now, but that's not how everything was set up when it came to the way they got paid and those sorts of things with the writers. Maybe that's true for the actors. I guess it kind of would be. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe Hollywood Brad can chime in on that and give us some more details. Here's Jay Rakin. He's talking about what's happening in the world.
Hey, Jill calling.
Hey.
You're upstate New York.
Sorry, Jill.
iHeartRadio listener. Obviously a Bills fan, as I have stated previously. And I'm not basing my opinion on the game on that. Everybody's talking about the 70 points that Miami got, but nobody's talking about the fact that they left 20 points on the board. 20 points is a pretty high score for the defense to leave for a team that's kind of a throwaway team right now in the NFL.
That's what I was saying.
I think maybe they really need to be focusing on the fact that they left 20 points on the board and not the fact that they got 70 against a pretty subpar team.
I don't know. It's still
Have
a lot
a
of
good
points.
day. Go Bills.
All right, there you go, Jay.
She can accurately, she has a ground to stand on saying that when the Bills won 37-3.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, yeah, okay, we didn't score 70 points, but we only allowed 3.
Okay, this may be a big showdown at some point in time. Let's go over to Teabag. Is this true? Hang on, let's listen to him.
What is up, junkies?
Hey.
This is Tim from Ohio. I'm the guy who won the trip to Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I have returned from Vegas, and I feel like I have been in Vegas for the last 72 hours. I just wanted to say thank you. I promise that I spent the $1,000 in the most irresponsible way a human being could spend $1,000, and I had the time of my life. I couldn't thank you guys more.
Good for you, man. That's awesome. You won the trip out to Vegas for the big concert event over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I caught a little bit of that.
You watching on Hulu?
No, I saw it on Hulu. I saw like how you could it was right on the homepage when you went into the app. I didn't click that though. I saw some clips, and I heard a little bit of it on the radio, which I didn't know that they were doing. We were coming back from something. We were switching around, and then they were like tuning into the iHeartRadio show, and so that's how I caught a little bit of it on the way back. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, you got a lot of thoughts today. I like that. That's very, very good. We have some very, very concerning news about flying that we need to address, and a situation that happened on a Delta Airlines flight as well. So we'll put both those together, try to make sense of this. Wait till you hear this story about the Delta Airlines flight to Virginia that's out there today. It's insane, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
X marks the spot at Real Radio 1041 on X.
Yeah, no one calls it that.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. Afternoon highs today will be nearing 90 degrees, hot and humid before showers and thunderstorms move in mainly after 2-3 o'clock. Heavy rain, frequent lightning, gusty winds, and even the chance for small hail will be possible. Do make sure you're staying weather aware and depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. As the world keeps changing, so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn more and schedule at vaccines.gov. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Hey, big shout out and congratulations to Larry out of Deltona. Larry listens to the show. Thank you, Larry. He was ready to upgrade his driving situation. He went down to Nation's Trucks over the weekend and left in his very own 2022 Ram Mega Cab Cummins Diesel 4x4. And you, my friends, can be next. You can start driving the truck that you deserve today. Ford, Chevy, Ram, and GMC. Nation's Trucks has got them all. And with approved credit, you're not making any payments until 2024. Visit nationstrucks.com or just go down and see them in Sanford on 1792, just 1 mile south of Lake Mary Boulevard. Let them know C-Lane from the News Junkie sent you.
Today's Central Florida job market is more competitive than ever, but don't be discouraged. Attend the Florida Jobs Now Job Fair Wednesday, October 11th, noon to 4 p.m. at the Orlando Science Center, and connect with over 70 recruiters right here in Central Florida, some even offering on-the-spot interviews. Your next career is right in front of you. Join us at the Florida Jobs Now Job Fair Wednesday, October 11th, noon to 4 p.m. at the Orlando Science Center, located at 777 East Princeton Street in Orlando. Get more info at floridajobsnow.com.
Consumer Cellular's award-winning customer support is 100% based in the U.S., and you are 100% based in the U.S. That's something you have in common with Consumer Cellular's customer service. Consumer Cellular's customer service likes pizza, and you like pizza. You want a free month of service, and we want to give you one. We obviously can't wait to hear from you. Visit consumercellular.com/free month and enter code FREEMONTH to get your second month free. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Promotion is subject to terms and conditions.
At EasyCater, we get it. Ordering food for work means you have to deal with this.
Client meeting on Tuesday. Client wants Taco Tuesday.
19 people.
Need vegan options.
Our budget just got slashed.
Meeting is now Monday. What about Mediterranean?
Client still wants taco.
Claire has a nut allergy.
Gluten-free.
Under budget.
Flavored sodas.
Tacos for a client meeting? Just use EasyCater. Food for work delivered on time as ordered with a huge variety. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Chief White House correspondent Kristen Welker joins me now.
From across the nation.
What is the #1 issue for you?
To the national stage.
And I welcome you to the final 2020 presidential debate.
When critical votes were counted.
Still too close to call.
And when power was held to account.
Is abuse of power an impeachable offense?
Kristen Welker met the moment. Now she joins Meet the Press as its new moderator.
If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Sundays on NBC.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow. Guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Gatorade and the Orlando Magic know that the best use the best. That's why they're partnering to reward deserving youth basketball teams in Central Florida in the Gatorade Gear Contest. One boy and one girl's youth basketball team will each win basketball shoes and Gatorade gear. Do you know a deserving team? Visit OrlandoMagic.com/Gatorade to nominate them today. No purchase necessary. Contest ends October 1st. For full rules, visit OrlandoMagic.com/Gatorade.
When I'm on the move, there's only one move that works for me. So I'm going to Checkers. Slide me that $2.49 chicken bites and fries box. No matter where I go, I'm going to enjoy the crispy, juicy, perfectly seasoned all-white meat chicken bites. Plus a load of Checkers' famous seasoned fries, all for just $2.49. That's right, this box is always coming in clutch. Checkers is boxing up deals like you've never seen before. Whether I'm running on empty or stepping on the gas, I'm taking one for the road with Checkers. Get it delivered now.
Hey, you're up next.
My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Here's a hint. Fall finds for $25 and under, like sharp blazers, cozy sweaters, cargo pants, jackets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio 104.1.
What would you do in this situation? I'm honestly curious to see what the response to this will be. But because it's visual, I put it up on See It Now, and you can take a look at this over on thenewsjunkie.com. Just tap on the See It Now section, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about as we discuss this. Now, this went down in Seattle, and in Seattle, there's somebody driving their vehicle, and they're about to turn into like under a bridge, to go into a tunnel underneath a bridge. And I want you to tell me what you would do if this was you driving this vehicle, because this can happen to absolutely anybody. So this person, they've got a dash cam on their car, and they're driving, and they go into the tunnel, and boom, somebody jumps out in front of the car with a knife in their hand.
Okay.
And carjacks them underneath this bridge.
Why not?
And goes after the person who is driving.
You're going to ask the question I think you're about to ask, Sabrina?
Probably. Well, I mean, hold on. What were we going to say?
I don't want it to be a stupid question, but can just drive around him?
I think I would drive right through the son of a bitch if he was in front of the car. If I was driving into this tunnel and somebody hops out in front of my car with a knife, no way would I stop for somebody like this. Would you hit your brakes and stop if somebody jumped out in front of your car with a knife in a tunnel?
No. But
no way.
I have my childhood in Miami-Dade County to thank for that.
Yeah, I would never stop in this case. People stop. This person here stopped, and he comes over to the side of the car and carjacks these people. And Steve-O said, I would throw it in reverse. I guess that's an option. Christina says, carjack with a knife, ? Yes, it's easy enough to do when people are scared, and you pop out in front of the car and you stop the vehicle. And I've seen this in many other ways. The other way I've seen it was, and this is why it's so dangerous, and I don't want everybody to be jaded, but maybe you should sometimes. I saw a video not too long ago. It's dark, and there's somebody driving down this road. And in front of the vehicle that is driving down the dark road, a young girl pops out. She's like maybe late teens, early 20s, and she looks like she's in some sort of trouble, and she's like waving her hands around and stuff. And the car goes to pull over, and she was a trap, and two other guys pull out with guns, and they rob the person and steal their car, the person who was driving down this road, because they wanted to, they wanted to be nice and help somebody who they thought was in distress. And it's such a fine line. But I'll tell you, if there's just one dude under this bridge and he pops out in front of my car, I'm going to hit the horn. It's the first thing I'm going to do, because I'm going to give the ultimate warning. I'm going to hit the horn, and I'm going to hit the gas pedal, and I'm not stopping. I'm going right over this son of a bitch who wanted to step in front of me and try to do this. And you could say, like, well, that's heartless. You're not. I'm after my life. I'm after protecting my life, or whoever's in the car with me. The people that I care about that are in the vehicle with me are of way more importance than some weirdo in a tunnel at night who's trying to take advantage of people.
I think I might give him enough time to get to the door, because I don't drive with my doors unlocked, so he's not getting in. But I'm figuring out whether he has that knife or not. I haven't maybe gotten a good look at his arm yet. It's the video itself is kind of blurry, but I would let him get that close, and then by the time he's not in front of the car, I don't have to run him completely over. He might still hurt himself trying to get to the door or try to get it open, but that's on him.
What somebody like this is relying on is they're relying on someone to be so scared that they just go, take the car, And if people do that because people don't want to get hurt. They also don't want to harm other human beings. And they're manipulating that in human beings, that reaction,
Sean,
to
on
be
the
able
other
to take
hand,
advantage.
wants to see what it's like to send that guy flying.
I would not be happy that I hit the person, but I would be happy that all of the people inside the car with me, including myself, weren't going to be a victim to whatever this person wanted to do. I'm not going to stand by and just see that kind of stuff happening. This happens in a lot of cities where people steal vehicles and just kind of run around and take advantage of human beings and scare the hell out of people. This one, of course, as I said, in Seattle. But what would you do? You could see that video yourself. It's up on the newsjunkie.com right now. Take a peek at that and let me know what you think. So let's talk about the chaos in the air that I was mentioning. Thank God we weren't on this. But they said a JetBlue flight, this time over the state of Florida, was just hit with severe turbulence, sending 8 people to the hospital in Fort Lauderdale, where they landed this thing.
That's a no for me.
And you know, if they had to send people to the hospital, we're not talking like, oh, man, this turbulence is pretty bad. We're talking, this thing was like a roller coaster. Yes, it sent somebody up to the ceiling, hitting your head on the overhead compartments kind of situation. You know that somebody was injured pretty bad as a result of what happened here on this flight. So hopefully nobody that you know or love was on this JetBlue flight over Florida where
Do you think
people were taken to the hospital.
I think it might have been one of those situations where, like, the beverage cart is not secure and it just goes barreling down the aisle and it
smashes into
everything in its way just gets pummeled.
Oh, God, that does happen sometimes. People do get hurt by the beverage cart or just not having their seatbelts on if the turbulence comes out of nowhere and you don't have time to put your seatbelts on. And then, you go right up to that roof. And you might have some older people on there. You might have some people who are a little more feeble. You might have the Pope on board. And it's going to be more damage to a person like that when you get into a position of being in severe turbulence. No, thank you.
Does the Pope have his own airplane?
I don't know.
Is there a Pope plane? I know they have the Pope Mobile. But do you take the Pope Mobile to the Pope
Can you
Airport?
imagine if he rode like commercial?
Just hanging out.
He ends up being your seatmate.
The Pope's right next to you. That'd be interesting.
Not effing real.
What languages does the Pope speak? He speaks English because he asked for the little kid to sing.
8 different languages.
And
You're talking about his main one?
A lot of them are Italian.
Yeah, just because of, the nature of where they're located and where, the history of popedom and all that. The other story that I wanted to ask you guys about, and again, this is another what would you do type scenario to drum up some dispatches. We want to see what you have to say about this. But there was another flight, a Delta Airlines flight. It was going into Virginia. Imagine yourself on this flight, okay? They said they're sitting down. Everything's going fine. It's from Salt Lake City to Virginia. And as they're about to kind of get underway with the flight, this person goes, the flight attendant was coming around and taking the orders, like, hey, what can I get you to drink? What can I get you to drink? And this person was sitting in a row with a husband and wife. And the husband and wife says to this passenger,
I saw this.
says, hey, we don't like drinking. We don't support drinking. So we would appreciate if you didn't order an alcoholic beverage on this flight.
Get me off this plane.
Because we're against it. We are not for drinking. And it says, when the beverage cart came through, the husband and wife both ordered waters, and I ordered red wine. The husband turned to me from the aisle seat and said, please don't drink that near us. We don't believe in drinking alcohol. He said, I told the couple not to worry. I was not going to offer them any of my drink. But they had asked this person to not order a drink. And I thought, I could maybe see this for somebody who is like an annoying ex-drunk too, like a former alcoholic who is, I don't want to be in the presence of any alcohol here. Although I haven't heard them doing it. These folks, I think, were just like Mormons coming out of Utah. And they asked the person next to them, yeah, I don't want you to be drinking. Right? No. You can have all of your rules, and your rules apply to you know who? You. Your rules apply to you. You guys can go, we don't want to drink. We don't think it's good.
It's
we don't want
not like
curse.
smoking. There's no secondhand alcohol.
No, yeah. You're
Unless
not
you
going
hit
to
turbulence and it splashes them in the face.
On a rare occasion, they'd probably truly enjoy it. But this is one of those things where you go, dude, you can have all the rules you want. But the moment you impose your rules on me is the moment we have a problem.
It's also the moment that I will start drinking like 2 times more.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you
almost want a spiked drink in front of this guy.
Load
it up.
Please keep it coming. I'm going to get blacked out next to you.
Yeah, I ordered a red wine, but I think the next one is going to be whiskey.
And I think I'd be singing little songs as it was drinking. Yeah. Just making up little drinking songs and the ziggy zaggy.
Whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray.
I'd really amp it up, I think, just a little more so they'd have to deal with that. Okay, let's go to you. We're working a couple of dispatches here while we have a moment. And I think we got our friend Amy Caulfield from Fox 35 joining us today. We have got to talk to her, guys, about, have you been following the story with the alligator? Have you seen this at all?
The one that tried to pull the truck into the water?
No.
Talking about the one with the body?
Yeah. The alligator that ate the lady. And they're trying to still piece this thing together.
Have they checked its stomach?
I'm talking about the same alligator. I just forgot that it also ate a person.
Oh, the alligator did multiple things?
They had some issues when they were trying to catch it.
Oh, right.
My God. All right, well, we'll get into that with Amy Caulfield in a bit. But right now, here's Steve talking about that carjack situation.
Hey, good morning, news junkie and crew. About the guy with the knife under the bridge. It might be best to just go right through him. You're going to save somebody else that might be scared enough to let him in, and then they get hurt. So you're not only saving yourself, you might be saving the next guy if you try to go around him or wait till he goes to your door. Then the next car that comes in, he's going to carjack them and maybe hurt them, stab them, kill them, who knows?
Yeah.
Run that bitch over.
Get him!
Thank you.
Get him!
What happens, in the actual video? Did they...
the person stopped, and it ends with, the guy came up and it opened the door of the vehicle.
dash cam didn't keep going?
No, that's where the video ended, where he came up and the guy had the knife in his hand. And so he just kind of, I don't know if he gave up his car. I'll see if I can find a story on it. It was just from one of these Seattle accounts that posts all kinds of news.
He somehow got the dash cam footage, so he got the car back at some point.
Right. Yeah, he must have. Yeah. So, but these kind of things, they happen. And I never want to purposely hurt somebody else. I don't want to physically hurt somebody or kill somebody. But I don't care about your life as much as I care about mine when you're under a bridge trying to carjack people. Your life is not worth as much as mine. And I can't handle things that way. I think you just have to kind of arrange yourself in the world in such a way that you go, should I, out of this abundance of empathy, say, oh, no, sir, take my car. You need it more. Here you go. You take my car. I don't want to be stabbed. Please don't get stabby with me. No, I don't think so. I don't think you could do it that way. It just doesn't seem right. Here's DJ Fat Boy talking about the Dolphins game where they scored 70 points.
I really don't like to say this because I'm a diehard Jet fan, but the Miami Dolphins really did kick the tar out of Denver. The third-string running back had 3 touchdowns and over 200 yards and 47 fantasy points.
Damn.
And all those points scored by Denver were on the second and third string. So, yeah, unfortunately, the Dolphins are that good.
Okay, that's another good point to the comment about their defense. They ended up putting in second-string and third-string players when they were so far ahead that the team was not as good as they could have been. So it's possible.
If I was playing fantasy and the only Miami Dolphins players I had or played were the Dolphins defense, that would have been very, very annoying because you get less points from a defense the more points they allow the other team to score.
Yeah. I mean,
right, Sean?
No, I understand what he's saying. I didn't know that they put in the second and third string, but I should have thought about that just because it was such a blowout.
You guys weren't going to have a chance to play this year, but let's get you out there, huh?
I've got audio here of a defensive lineman for the Denver Broncos who was upset after the game.
Pump it up a little bit more.
All right, quick break. When we come back, our friend Amy Caulfield from Fox 35 will be joining the show. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
The audio version of a Live, Laugh, Love wall decoration that's been set on fire. Real Radio 104.1.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your Monday is going great so far. And right now, if you're behind the wheel on the major highways and roads of Orlando, seems like a couple of delays. Of course, your usual east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535. But thankfully, the 408 is clear east and westbound. So is the Turnpike north and southbound, as well as the Greenway. Right now, there are incidents reported in the city. However, Cayley Street, and that's between Rio Grande Avenue and OBT at Nashville, and also Narcoossee southbound at Boggy Creek. Careful there. Our Safe Touch security line is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa has pizza. Wawa has pizza, and it's freshly made. Wawa has pizza until 3 a.m. Brought to you by Wawa, who now has pizza starting at 4 p.m. Wawa has pizza. Gotta have a Wawa.
Folks, there is an amazing company ready to help you and make sure you stay nice and cool with the weather still. Well, it's around 90. It's getting a little cooler now, thankfully, as officially fall has started. But your AC just had to work really hard for the entirety of summer. So it's good to get it checked out right about now with the preventative maintenance plan over at Mills Air. This is a great company started by Leon Mills, an amazing guy, awesome businessman, locally owned and operated, family owned and operated, the exact kind of company that you want to support. And they've been in business since 1992. So you can trust a company that's been around for over 30 years, right? They've got 30 years experience and 30 years making people just like you happy with their services. Their techs can service any brand out there. It doesn't matter what kind of AC you have, but they're a Carrier factory authorized dealer. And that's good, because that can get you access to some rebates that you can't get elsewhere toward a brand new Carrier unit, over $1,000 even. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Give them a call at 407-277-1159 or find them online at millsair.com.
Stella Artois wants to know, who would you have dinner with? Join the Stella team at The Whiskey on Sand Lake Road this Friday, September 29th from 6 until 8 for an opportunity to let them know who you'd have dinner with, from the past, present, or future, and why. Then start your dinner with a complimentary Stella Artois and chalice. Simply snap the QR code for details on your chance to win dinner on Stella from one of 10 participating restaurants. Let's do dinner, and as always, let's start with a Stella.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-859-3220. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 to 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-859-3220. That's 800-859-3220 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. 800-859-3220.
O'Reilly.
Do you need new wiper blades but aren't sure which ones are right for you? The professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. We'll show you the best options for your specific vehicle and even install your new wipers for free. And right now, save $10 per pair on Bosch Focus wiper blades, plus get 2 times O-Rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I'm about to tell you a secret that'll make the insurance companies madder than a wet hen. Major insurance companies use a software called Colossus to tell them what the firm you hire is likely to settle your case for. Google it yourself. They know which law firms can lowball and take the last best offer, not us. Google our firm and see billions recovered from those very same insurance companies. They know who we are, and now you know it too. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Listen up. This is so easy. Do you want the most money for your used car? Of course you do. And a hassle-free process? Yeah, that's GiveMeTheVIN.com. Give Me the VIN will beat your written CarMax offer or write you a check for $100. It's that simple. And Give Me the VIN is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and thousands of online reviews. Get an instant cash offer and the most money for your used car right now at GiveMeTheVIN.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Are you dealing with tooth pain? Don't suffer in silence. Advanced Endodontics is here to help. Our expert team offers state-of-the-art care and is dedicated to helping you find relief. We specialize in root canals and have 6 convenient locations throughout Central Florida. We partner with well-known companies who offer great financing options, and you don't need a referral to make an appointment. Visit IneedARootCanal.com today. Don't delay. That's IneedARootCanal.com. and take the pain away.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Monday, and it is time to welcome our friend Amy Caulfield from Fox 35.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys.
There she is.
Happy Monday.
Yeah. How are you? How was your weekend, Amy?
It was good. It was good. I spent all day Saturday at the pool watching a swim meet.
Mm-hmm.
So
They don't
that was
stop
pretty
swimming.
much my weekend.
My God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen them out there before at the place around the high school around the corner from my house, and it gets crazy out there. I would never have thought that there was such intensity at a swim meet for like parents rooting on the kids and like rooting on the team and stuff. But it's wild to watch. It's like a whole thing.
The high school around the corner from your house has a pool?
Yeah, they have a big pool
like
out
the high
there.
school has its own pool.
Yeah.
I don't think our school had a pool.
It's like an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It's like a big one that they do the races in. And
What school is it, Sean?
Boone. Yeah, well, I mean,
Boone.
I've already said
Boone.
enough
They have
about
a good swim team.
Yeah, I go. Well, they were always out there and they're screaming and like doing the whole thing. And at first I was like, I don't know, maybe they're playing football over there. And then I looked and they were swimming. I go, okay, I guess they get into this stuff. So you had that going on this weekend.
Yeah, they have a good water polo team at Boone too. You have to go watch a water polo game. They're actually really fun.
Sean by himself showing up to the water polo game might be weird.
just sitting there, just all by my lonesome. I think that's a weird look.
Sean's girlfriend wants him to take her to the high school football game, but he doesn't feel comfortable.
Yeah,
But football game would make more sense than the water polo game, I think.
I'm not doing that. We decided after talking with Amy last week that we can't be doing this. This is too weird for us to go watch a high school football game together. We don't have any kids at the school.
Can come with me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick her up and I'm gonna take her to a Seminole High School football game.
Okay,
just tell her. I'll buy her popcorn and everything.
Why is it me that makes everything look weird? If I'm involved, then it's like a weirdo thing. But if I'm not involved, then it's like that's totally normal. That's just two ladies watching a football game. This is totally normal.
That's right.
Stuff. Well,
fun.
We've been trying to follow this story, and I know that you've been covering this today. Maybe you can help fill in some of the very, very wild pieces of this with this alligator that they found where it had attacked some woman, I guess. Are you following this? Yeah.
Yeah, so awful. We actually had the daughter of the woman interviewed over the weekend.
Oof.
And so we heard from her, but this is just a horrific story. So they think the gator's 13 to 14 feet long, and someone spotted it with, they thought was a body in its mouth, right? So they, call out 911. Everybody shows up. The gator still has, like, I guess, human remains in its mouth. There was blood everywhere. We actually had to blur out the picture. Like, there was a drone picture up above the scene. We had to blur it out. So anyway, this woman said that it was her mother. She was only 41 years old, and apparently she was homeless, and she lived in the woods near where this happened. And she said the reason that they knew something was wrong is, I guess, she was 41, but she was already a grandmother. And I guess she would walk over to the family's house in the morning to say hi to the kids. I don't know why grandma's living in the woods and not in the house, but anyway.
Yeah.
Sounds like
so it's just
Little
a
Red
sad
Riding Hood,
story.
right?
It's just sad. It's just really sad, So anyway, so she didn't make it. Her daughter is, you can imagine, just devastated. We have the whole story.
That's also a very big alligator, 14, 15 feet. That's a huge gator that was involved in this. I think they ended up euthanizing the gator, right?
They did. Yeah, they did. And the daughter said something which was a little strange. She said that, she said, my mother, here's what she said. She says, my mother chose the wrong path in life. She was selfless, 100% selfless. She was homeless, but that didn't matter. She would give you the last piece of food off of her plate, give you the shirt off her back. And she said something about how her mother would never taunt a gator. I guess, I don't know if somebody had said that she was, but she made it a point to say my mother would never taunt a gator or mess with a gator. She was, she knew better to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what happened. It's just sad.
It may have just been that because she was living out there in the, in the woods, that this gator was close enough that it was able to kind of sneak up on her or somehow get a hold of her. And then
it's awful.
What a terrible way to go. But obviously that's making national headlines today. It's getting a lot of attention out there. What else is grabbing your attention?
Well, okay, so you guys know that we've been talking a lot about Crocs making their way north. Now, Crocs are not, we actually do have Crocs in our area, mostly in Brevard County. So we've got a gal who actually called us today to let us know that she has a huge crocodile in her backyard that's just sunbathing. And she's a little panicked about it. So we are going to be doing that story. That's over in Indian Harbor Beach. And you can imagine, crocodiles can be more vicious than alligators. But something that's interesting about Crocs that we learned is alligators will tolerate cooler weather, but Crocs will not. So once it starts to get cooler around here, probably not till January, February, the Crocs will move further south and then come back. Isn't that interesting?
Well, it's great that we have to deal with both alligators and crocodiles.
That's
it's
fun.
really, it's really
that.
just a big win.
We're so lucky.
For us across the board.
How do they move south? Is it mostly swimming, or are they just kind of taking a walk?
That's a good question. I guess probably canals, right? They hop in Uber. They probably hop in a canal and just, swim where it's a little, warmer. And then did you guys see the crazy story about the flamingos that showed up in Lake Michigan this week?
I did. And they said this has never happened before as far as they know. But all of a sudden they look over and in Lake Michigan, there's a bunch of flamingos hanging out because.
So crazy.
And probably like 80 people just taking pictures gathered around. They've never seen anything like this before.
Sabrina, so we had sound from this guy this morning, and this guy called himself a birder. He was like, all the birders are out here. And they actually had to call in the police to do crowd control because there were so many people flocked around these 4 flamingos on the beach. We have pictures on our website, but well, it actually happened in Wisconsin, but along Lake Michigan.
My bad.
So, so here's what's weird is that if you look at the flamingos, only 2 of them are pink. The other ones are gray, which I guess I forgot, they have to, flamingos turn pink because they eat shrimp, right? So I'm like, so did the gray ones, what are the gray ones eating? Why is there?
I don't know. Do they look ugly when they're gray? They don't look good, right?
No, they're not nearly as cute. They look like sandhill cranes, but with funny noses,
Yeah, it's like when I walk through my neighborhood and go on the prowl after the peacocks, the peahens, the females, the peahens, hideous monstrosities. That bird does not look good at all. But the peacocks is like, whoa, okay, we've seen them before where they got all the stuff out and the plumage going and all that. Fantastic. But you get a flamingo that's not pink. What the hell is that? Give me my money back.
Yeah.
Pink flamingos are pink because of shrimp?
That's what I heard.
Shrimp is not pink.
Well,
I think
they
it's
turn
something
pink.
else. All right, let's take it to the old Google.
Why are
Why flamingos
flamingos? Yeah, we got to figure this out. So we get the
Maybe the
science on
gray
it.
flamingos are eating the raw
It's
shrimp.
definitely their
Yeah, it's from their food.
It's their diet.
It says carotenoids give carrots their orange color, blah, 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 blah. They're also found in microscopic algae that brine shrimp eat. As a flamingo dines on algae and brine shrimp, they turn pink. So that's where they get it from.
Boom.
We learned something
Fascinating.
today. Look at that. We nailed it. What else is grabbing your attention over there, Amy?
Oh, you guys, well, we're digging in a little further on a couple stories that we've been following since the weekend. So on Friday, late in the evening, we got a notice from the governor's office that there are 4 schools in the state of Florida that are connected to, the state says connected to communist China.
Mm-hmm.
And so they pulled specific funding from those schools. And one of them is Park Maitland, which is a big private school in Maitland. They don't have a lot of students who use state funding. Most of the students, their families just pay full price. I think it's like $20,000 a year. But they do have a few students that use the specific funding. So we're trying to find out today what the actual connection is.
Right.
So if you go to their website, it says on there that the school is partially owned by a company called, I think it was Primavera. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but and that company is based in Asia. So I don't know. Does that mean there's a connection to communist China? I don't know. I assume that there was some legwork that was done. We just aren't aware of what that legwork was, and they didn't get into specifics.
I would hope so, because it would be really dumb if there was just like a parent company in China that had some ownership of this school, and then they just connect all the dots from there and say, shut down the school because China. You know, that seems like it would be a little bit strange. I mean, I'm sure they'll have some more details. Hopefully they have something more to back that up.
We hope so. I mean, the school is still running, right? I mean, most of the money that is paid to the school is from, private families. So there was only just a small portion of the kids who are using like this basically state scholarship money to go there. So it's not really going to affect the school. It'll affect a couple of kids, though, if they're not going to get that funding. So we talked to Anna Escamani over the weekend, who is the state rep. She's over that area just to see if there's, a little more information that we can get on that. So we're working on that story today. And then I don't know if you guys saw, but the UAW, the United Auto Workers strike, there is a local impact for us here in Orlando. There is a Stellantis plant on Boggy Creek, in the Boggy Creek area. And so there were some workers who were out striking this morning.
Wait, and who do we learn was Stellantis? What popular brands are they?
Oh, I forgot.
Chrysler and Jeep.
Yeah. Is that what it is? Okay.
Chrysler and Jeep. Yeah. Chrysler and Jeep, which I didn't know that until this strike happened, C-Lane. So I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I was like, what is Stellantis?
We had that same moment last week where we're like, why is that a different name?
Yeah,
There was like
we
some
know all the
merger.
other brands.
Yeah.
It's like GM and Ford. You're like, okay, I know those. I know what that brand is. And then Stellantis was the oddball. But yeah, it's Jeep and Chrysler, I guess, that they're making over there.
Right.
And I know that union all across the country, the auto workers union, one of the things they want is 4-day work weeks. So like they're going after way more. I think they want a 40 or 50% increase in pay.
They were offered a 20 or 21% increase in pay, and they want a 40% increase in pay.
Yeah, they had turned down the initial offering, and they want to work one less day a week. So that one might be a strike that is a little more contentious because of what they're asking for. All right, always wonderful to talk to you. We love you. We appreciate you.
Love you guys.
You're the best. Amy Caulfield from Fox 35. Make sure you're following along each and every day. It's the best way to keep up with what's happening in the world. And no matter where you are hanging out with us, listening to the show today, if you're in Dallas or if you're in Rochester, if you're in West Palm Beach or on the Treasure Coast or anywhere around the country or the world listening to the show, you can still go there. It's a great news resource, gooddayorlando.com. Thank you, Amy. We'll talk to you next week.
Love you guys.
Love you.
There she goes, Amy Caulfield. When we return, we got to get to something that happened this weekend that I think could be a little dangerous. It seems like the start of one of these weird space thriller movies. Ooh. And it's like, and that is the moment when everything changed. What happened? We're going to talk about it.
Sorry, that was a little delayed.
Well, that's fine. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
You text us at 77031 and we say it on the air. Sometimes. We might even give you credit. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your Monday is going great so far. And right now, if you're behind the wheel on the major highways and roads of Orlando, seems like a couple of delays. Of course, your usual east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535. But thankfully, the 408 is clear east and westbound. So is the Turnpike north and southbound, as well as the Greenway. Right now, there are incidents reported in the city. However, Cayley Street, and that's between Rio Grande Avenue and OBT at Nashville, and also Narcoossee southbound at Boggy Creek. Careful there. Our Safe Touch security line is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
This is Lee Habib, the host of Our American Stories. This week, we'll have the story of golf's greatest event, the Masters. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
You also don't want to miss the boat and compare your quote today with that mortgage guy, Don. That mortgage guy, Don, president of Happy Home Mortgage Brokerage and host of the Home Loans Radio Show. He is here for you, my friends. Over 250 five-star Google reviews and 1,100 reviews at Experience.com. It's very safe to say that Don knows what he's doing. And I can say with full confidence that he's looking out for you. He has your best interest in mind. Now, chances are very high that you're leaving money on the table, so let that mortgage guy, Don, help you get the money off the table and back in your hands where it belongs. Get a free, fast quote review at thatmortgageguydon.com. Hit the compare button, and Don will review your quote today. If you want to see a difference, apply now and get a quote. Go to the website. If you have any questions, it is chock full of information for you. Guides on how to get pre-approved, reliable mortgage information, and you have direct access to the man himself via live chat, email, Zoom call, or get your question answered live this weekend on the Home Loans Radio Show. Plain and simple, no spam, no hassle, just peace of mind. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with ThatMortgageGuyDon.com.
Your dentist recommends flossing your teeth once a day, but 70% of us ignore this advice because traditional flossing can be, well, a hassle. But Quip's rechargeable water flosser turns you into a flossing fanatic. With gentle and deep clean pressure modes, the Quip water flosser delivers feel-good flossing, and its clutter-free design includes a long-lasting charge and a 360-degree floss tip for hard-to-reach spots. Right now, get your first floss tip refill free at getquip.com/radio. That's getquip.com/radio.
Call Extreme Air and Electric. When you're in need, call the Extreme team.
Visit Extreme Air online today at extremeairandelectrical.com for special financing available on new home comfort systems. That's your hometown Train experts online at extremeairandelectric.com today. License EAC 1817433.
Call Extreme for your air and electric. When you're in need, call the Extreme team.
Your industry is unique. It faces its own challenges and risks that set it apart. That means choosing just any insurance company just won't cut it. At The Hartford, we take pride in knowing the ins and outs of your industry and help provide solutions that suit how you do business, from liability and property insurance to workers' comp and more. At The Hartford, we don't just talk about specialization, we live it. Learn how The Hartford can help your business at thehartford.com.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office, Orlando.
Attention homeowners, costly repairs ruining your budget? Get the award-winning Choice Home Warranty and see how much you can save. Get a free quote right now. Just dial pound 250 and say Home Warranty. Limitations apply. Visit choicehomewarranty.com for details. Call now, pound 250, keyword Home Warranty.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day and we recovered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
When I'm on the move, there's only one move that works for me. So I'm going to Checkers. Slide me that $2.49 chicken bites and fries box. No matter where I go, I'm going to enjoy the crispy, juicy, perfectly seasoned all-white meat chicken bites. Plus a load of Checkers' famous seasoned fries, all for just $2.49. That's right, this box is always coming in clutch. Checkers is boxing up deals like you've never seen before. Whether I'm running on empty or stepping on the gas, I'm taking one for the road with Checkers. Get it delivered now.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online. Qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app? Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts.
Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio. Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
Win and save with 0% APR financing on new Nissans at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Is upon us. Seeing so much of this robot stuff that freaks me out. Over the weekend, Elon Musk was tweeting out the robot that he's got that they've been working on. And it's not as human-like as some of the other ones I've seen, but it's starting to get more advanced, and it's very, very the dexterity on it is very good, and the way they're able to put it through certain challenges. It looks totally different than the one we're kind of used to, which is the Boston Dynamics dog thing that a bunch of cops tend to buy across the country. Some of the other robots that we've seen out there that got a little more popular. But there's so many of these things now, and it's happening very fast. They even said this week, I believe, or this month at the latest, there's an update to Chat GPT where you can essentially just have a conversation with it now, not typing. Like you could talk to it and verbally have a conversation.
That's strange, but I'm up for it.
Which will be interesting, yeah.
I also find it very interesting, and I hope I'm not the only one. It might be a millennial thing, but talking to Chat GPT, the one you have now, I'm still saying, thank you so much. That actually sounded great. Or if you could please write this out. And you did a wonderful job. For some reason, I feel like if I use my manners and ChatGPT one day takes over the world, they remember that.
Yeah, I think it just kind of comes naturally, too, because you feel like...
They should be
I don't want to say... Yeah, I don't want to say you feel like you're actually talking to a human, but you kind of do sometimes. When you get down into a conversation, you're like, but what about this? What about that? What about this? They're going to get these things even more tuned in. So it's going to be able to be something that you can have a conversation with. And also, I think it can respond to photos now. And it's just all of the angles they're hitting this stuff.
I don't, I'm not overly polite or use please and thank you to my automated devices, my home ones, like the Schmishmexa.
Right.
But I do start to personify her when she annoys me. So I don't know what setting I have to get to stop suggesting things to me.
Oh, the damn books all the time. And I get a notification as if I, have a weather alert or maybe a package has arrived. And they're like, based on zero history whatsoever, I feel like you're going to love this self-help book. And I'm like, you don't even know me.
You know what? I don't want my Chat GPT, my Schmishmexa, my Siri, any of those things. I don't want those things giving me anything unsolicited. I don't want you to talk to me if I am not talking to you.
Right.
I don't want to just
speak when spoken to.
Ours has done this. We'll walk into the kitchen and it'll go, "Hey, are you interested in this?" And you're like, "What? Hang on. This is a one-way opening of a conversation, and that's all. You don't just randomly talk whenever you feel like it. I wouldn't want that." I've got here it is.
A lot of times it's I stop it from playing music or I'm playing my shower jams, and then I stop it. And it's like, I can also give you a news roundup. I don't want it. I don't want it. Stop suggesting stuff to me.
I didn't ask you for that. What are you doing? I guess this is the update to ChatGPT. I want to hear if you can. Okay, let's take a picture of a bicycle. Help me lower my bike seat is the prompt. And then it gives, okay, so this is how you interact with photographs now. Like you can upload a photo of your bike and then you say, help me lower my bike seat. And then it says it sees that there's a quick release bolt on the side of it. And it gives you specific to this bike instructions on how to lower the bike seat. And I want to see how it does with like the voice responses back and forth. So yeah, they're showing that they were able to send the photo in. It was able to read what was in the photograph. This is all photo stuff.
So basically it showed a picture of the toolbox and was like, do I have the right tools to do this?
Yeah, and it saw the tools that they needed inside the toolbox and recommended to them what they were doing, which is something that no search engine can do now. But yeah, there's going to be voice conversations, images, and all, it's routed out even more and getting more wild to see how this whole thing grows and grows and grows. BDMP says, I'm using ChatGPT to write my obituary and my apology letter to David Beckham for the things I said to him yesterday at the soccer game. Hopefully that makes good with him. I'm sure that works out. Was there still a giant crowd out there?
Oh, yeah. The place was completely filled. I think it was like 23,000 people.
Man. And then there was some big Spanish concert, I think, that was going on.
Carol G, I believe.
Not familiar with who that is, but it was big, I guess, big enough to draw in a huge crowd.
I mean, it was at Camping World Stadium, so that's big enough
Good for Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge crowd to draw, and that's a lot of people to have in one area at one time. It happened. We talked about it happening, and now it's happened. An asteroid sample collected by NASA has touched down on Earth. That's right, friends. 7 years after it launched out into space, the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft flew by Earth Sunday, delivered this pristine sample from this near-Earth asteroid called Bennu, and they were able to get the biggest sample of an asteroid that they've ever received before, 8.8 ounces of asteroid rocks and soil. This was from 63,000 miles away. And it dropped this onto the ground, and they were able to retrieve it. So they got it all, free and clear now. The thing I'm worried about is whenever we capture stuff that we weren't supposed to capture, like humans probably were not supposed to capture this asteroid and take a look at this. What's coming along with this? We got any kind of weird diseases we're introducing to the population?
Oh, I'm sure. Why
kind
not?
Of freaky alien stuff that was on that asteroid. We might discover some things when they look down into this. This could be the beginning of that thriller movie, that space thriller movie that you never wanted to live in, but we may end up going through. Let's see what they find in this whole thing. It's a big breakthrough for the space world, and it's just a stunning and impressive thing that we're able to do this stuff with all of the brilliant minds that are attached to it. Okay, we're going to go to a couple of dispatches in a second, but piggybacking on my point on Friday that the e-scooters are garbage and they all need to be destroyed in a large fire. We need to get past this and go on to something else. If you want to get your own bicycle, cool. If you want to get your own e-bike or e-scooter, cool. But just having them littered all over these cities is a really dumb thing that these cities have done to generate money. And in the name of a little extra greed, they've covered our cities in these stupid scooters.
Okay, but also convenient for people that actually ride them.
Yeah, but just because something's convenient doesn't mean it's good for the city that it's in, right? Like, there's a lot of things you could do that would be convenient, but otherwise you'd go, hey, we don't want to inconvenience everybody else, or we don't want to make our city that city, which I think is why Paris said, enough's enough. We have stacks of these things. You would go to the Eiffel Tower in maybe a half a mile away from the Eiffel Tower, there was this intersection, and there was a stack of these scooters. There must have been 100 or 200 of these things. They're all over the place. And they're like that in New York. They're like that in most of these major cities where they're all battling against each other. There's 7-8 companies sometimes that have scooters on the roads because they haven't figured out who the winner is yet in that battle. And there's another report out of New York where they say there's a push to get rid of these damn things. They said e-cycles are faster, heavier, and more deadly. As death toll erupts, it's time to end them. It says, after more than 10 years of operation, New York City's City Bike bicycle share program marked a grim milestone. The first ever death of a pedestrian hit by a city bike rider. This was a person hit by a bike and they died.
That's what just happened down in St. Pete, too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That was. Yeah, but was it a scooter?
Yeah, it was two ladies that were on a scooter
that ran into somebody and killed her.
The City Bike program is, weirdly enough, like when you go to New York City, if you're trying to navigate around public transportation, one of the options is City Bike. Like on the Google app, when you're trying to get from point A to point B, and you can take the subway, obviously, bus system, but they do include on some of them that City Bike system where it's like, they have these stations, you unlock a bike, and you have to bring it back to another station. It's not just like willy-nilly, put it on the corner and take a picture of it. I don't think that would fly in New York.
No.
You have to bring it to a specific spot where those city bikes live, and that's how you get those around.
Yeah, because could you imagine in Manhattan, everybody just leaving the scooters and bikes all over the place?
Where are they going to put the trash?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that. And they say they want to get rid of these things. It is only one death, and it probably was a freak accident. And I do believe that the City Bike program is far superior to what we do with e-scooters and other electric bikes in most cities where you could just stop wherever you want. As long as it's in their area, you just stop on the sidewalk, leave the scooter there, and because the city gets money, off we go.
I mean, if you think about it, 10 years of that program operating like that, and this is the first pedestrian killed, that's pretty decent.
That's not a stunning number. Where they say that the death toll is erupting. We erupted from 0 to 1. So it's not the biggest eruption I've ever heard of before. Let's go to one dispatch real quick. Here's Amanda One Day talking about a nightmare on a plane.
Hey, happy Monday, guys. One of the worst flights I've ever been on. Couple next to me was very granola, had a little baby. I don't care about the baby, but the baby used natural diapers. So the baby soiled itself. They proceeded to wrap the natural diaper up and put it in the seat in front of them in their pocket. The stewardess comes over and says, "Ma'am, we can dispose of that in the lavatory." They said, "No, it's a natural diaper." She goes, "Well, can you please put it in a bag?" And they said that they prefer it to air out. And that is when I got a little belligerent with them and explained to them that, no, they'll be putting that in a plastic bag, or I'll be taking it and throwing it away for them.
Again, you do you. If you're a grown-ass adult, you do you. But you cannot just do whatever you want when it has impacts on other people. You can't go, well, this is the way we like to do things with our diaper. Yeah, well, you're in this hell tube with the rest of us, and we don't want to sit here and smell what you got going on right there.
Well, when he says natural diaper, are we talking cloth? Like they're
That's what I think it
reusable?
is. Yeah.
That are biodegradable?
The cloth ones are the ones that you wash, and then you just, you keep using them.
And speaking of that little compartment, it has been advised that you be wary of what you are putting in there. They're almost never cleaned.
Yeah, that
and a lot of people put their cell phones in it, and napkins, and no one ever goes in there and sanitizes the inside of that.
Yeah, I think that's a no-go zone. I think that whole area is let's just stay away. The tray tables, I think that they might hit with some cleaner every now and then. So it's a little bit safer territory. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? It's been one hell of a week for the moderators of the Bare Naked Ladies subreddit. You'll never guess why. Hope you'll be sitting down for this. Turns out a horror movie about a tentacle sea creature attacking a cruise ship may not be nautically accurate. Plus, remember how Drew Carey said he'd pick up the tab for striking writers? Well, so far, it's easy as 1, 2, 6 figures. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
I don't know why I put up with you. You suck. And I don't want to be married anymore. And then he'll be like, but you want my paycheck coming in here, don't you? And then she goes, if you don't shut your mouth, I'm going to stop cleaning the bed sheets when you S in them.
Oh.
And he goes, hey, shut up.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. Afternoon highs today will be nearing 90 degrees. Hot and humid before showers and thunderstorms move in, mainly after 2-3 o'clock. Heavy rain, frequent lightning, gusty winds, and even the chance for small hail will be possible. Do make sure you're staying weather aware and depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Listen up. This is so easy. Do you want the most money for your used car? Do you want a hassle-free process? Of course you do. Give Me the VIN is A+ rated by the BBB. That's Better Business Bureau, baby, and thousands of online reviews. Give Me the VIN will beat your written CarMax offer or write you a check for $100. It's that simple. Get the most money for your used car right now at GiveMeTheVIN.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Torres on his left foot shoots. He scores!
Orlando City is back at home for Kick Childhood Cancer Day on Saturday, September 30th, as they take on CF Montreal at 7:30 p.m., presented by Walt Disney World. Tune in on Real Radio 104.1 and watch on any device on the Apple TV app. Experience the ultimate smorgasbord of flavors at Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. Sip, savor, and stroll your way through 31 kitchens as you please your palate.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
What does the auto workers strike have to do with grocery stores in Canada and Chicago? Well, I'm Mark Moss, helping you navigate the decentralized revolution. Listen to The Mark Moss Show on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Celebrate National Bourbon Heritage Month at Christner's Prime Steak and Lobster. Enhance your legendary dining experience with an array of Christner's custom bourbons. Try the new Heaven's Door barrel-aged old-fashioned cocktail and enjoy the signature Heaven's Door profile of sweet citrus and dry spice, followed by allspice and a hint of sherry. Ask your server or our in-house sommelier for custom bourbon selections and pairings. Every day is a special occasion at Christner's. Visit Christner'sPrimeSteakandLobster.com for reservations.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, you're up next. My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight. Here, try these. Vicks VapoCool Drops. Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors. Ooh, I can already feel it. I told you. So, you ready? I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast.
with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
The next episode in just a moment. All things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. Never forget, friend, if you want to get the podcast and you want to keep up with everything happening on the show, the best way to do that is to go over to thenewsjunkie.com. All the podcast links are right there. You can subscribe on iHeartRadio and you'll get the alert each time C-Lane publishes the show if you're subscribed. All right, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV. You can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Hurricanes coming.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com. And of course, the Home Loans Radio Show, refinancing, buying your first dream home, debt consolidation, and so much more. Get the process started today with an expert and a friend that you can trust.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with That Mortgage Guy Don.com.
It was 12 years ago, 2001. The New York Post reported that this group right here,
Sly and the Family Stone.
that is right, and they reported 12 years ago on this day that Sly and Sly Stone, just Sly,
was living in a van down by the river.
in Los Angeles.
Maybe no river.
But yeah, he was broke and living in a van in Los Angeles, and I think that there was a very brief movement to verify that information, and then everyone dropped it. So we have
nobody cared about it afterwards?
They were like, yes, he is, but then the family was like, no, he's not, it's fine. And then we were excited about it for, I think, all of 6 days, and no one's followed up since. So I'm going to put it on the to-do list for this afternoon. We'll get an answer there for sure. Just kidding. The biggest news from football weekend, baby.
Uh-oh.
Go Dolphins.
Yeah, 70 points.
But most
I don't
importantly,
think that was the biggest news.
Something else?
I mean, everywhere. In the sports sections, on the sports channels, even on Good Day Orlando this morning, the big news was that Taylor Swift was there at the game to see Kelsey, baby.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's happening.
Have you heard what
Is it, though?
What? I was so inundated by it that I dreamt about Travis Kelsey.
Are they actually dating, or did he just go, hey, Taylor, show up to the game, and then she went to the game? Because when they were walking by each other, did you see somebody, like, film them walking by?
And she goes, hey.
And they weren't holding hands. They weren't. It was just like the two of them walking by. So I can't tell if they're just kind of doing a bit with each other or if they're actually dating each other.
Maybe this is what flirting looks like with when you have to flirt as a millionaire superstar.
I guess so.
Yeah, they're not ready to make it official, but there she was sitting in the box.
Have you heard what their relationship name is when they do make it official?
Oh, I
Tell me more.
I heard Russ say it this morning. I was laughing out loud in the car. Trailer.
Yeah. That's not bad.
That's awful. So yeah, Kelsey was.
That's the reason they don't get together. She finds out what that name is. They're like, no, sorry, Travis.
Made a touchdown, and then it seemed like all the cameras, despite the entire NFL team that was celebrating the touchdown, they just went for Taylor in the box with Kelsey's mom. He caught the ball in the back end of the zone with around 7 minutes to go into the third quarter. You guys remember that?
Hell yeah.
Woo, putting the Chiefs up 41 over the Bears. Top Bears. The NFL star celebrated with a dance while Swift, also 33, thank you for mentioning that, people.com, was seen jumping up and down and cheering and clapping in his suite. So what happens next? I don't care. But I'm sure it'll be all over the news.
Yeah,
but, wow.
You know what, though? The people who are behind the NFL and all these teams, they go, if we can get all the Swift fans, the Swifties, or whatever they call themselves, if we can get them to watch more football, great. Then we'll utilize this.
Has she done halftime yet?
I
for
don't
Super Bowl?
know. I don't think so.
It would have been a perfect opportunity, but it seems they have chosen the Super Bowl halftime show performance. I'm sure you guys saw this in the headlines as well.
Yeah.
But welcome back, herpes and all. Usher. Usher is going to be the halfway point for the big game in February.
Makes
right?
sense, right? I think that'll be good. Yeah.
Is it going to be on roller skates? Crazy guy?
Like Usher has a lot of hits that people forget, I think, because it's over so many years. He had and he has like Usher has the kind of hits.
It's Usher, thank you.
Even Courtney's mom and dad will get down to. Like he's one of those kind of people. Like I know Courtney's dad likes the "Yeah" song.
Yay!
Yeah, he likes that one, and it's one of those ones. It's big.
My acapella group covered. Yeah.
That was a huge song.
Yeah, Key Harmony. We killed it for sure. But enough about me. More about Usher. Says it's an honor of a lifetime to finally check a Super Bowl performance off my bucket list. I can't wait to bring the world a show unlike anything else they've ever seen from me before.
It's like Usher just goes away for a while, and then he's still big enough and has the catalog to come back and do something great. Then he's going to hide for another couple years. Every time I think I see something from Usher, it's John Legend.
It's so convenient though, and I'm seeing this more and more where you have this like giant performance. The VMAs, for example, they had Diddy was the lifetime achievement, the honoree, and then he had this big performance. And he's saying thank you, and he's like, by the way, my new album is dropping right now, so I'm always hustling. Same goes for Usher. The same day that he's going to perform, February 11th, in Vegas for the Super Bowl, he is releasing Coming Home, the first new album since 2016.
I'm looking at the songs because the only thing that you would ever worry about is that there's not enough up-tempo songs, right? Like, some of his songs, like, I don't know if he... Yeah, like, are you going to do that, My Boo, at the Super Bowl halftime show? It might be too slow. Or maybe they can remix it in some clever way, but
There's
we'll
a lot.
see.
I mean, even in our system here, like, it's several scrolls of Usher music.
Yeah.
How about You Remind Me? Also very slow.
Yeah, that was a big song. It's a little slow.
Let It Burn.
DJ Got Us Falling in Love would be upbeat enough, I think.
You Don't Have to Call. I'm excited for
You
it.
Make Me Wanna.
I wonder who he will bring out.
I don't know.
I have to now get away from the sports and get to the strike, baby, because it continues. And it was quite some time ago that Drew Carey, you know him, you love him. As of right now, the host of Price is Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been picking up the tab for members of the Writers Guild of America throughout the strike.
Does that mean that he's been picking up the tab just for the writers that just work on his show?
Well, no, just all the writers that go to this one place. It's one of the 2 California restaurants where his offer stands. And now we have the tab so far. It continues. He is estimated to owe that restaurant between $400,000 and $600,000.
Oh, my God. I wonder if they're checking to make sure these people are definitely members of the Writers Guild.
Is it just a card?
Yeah, like everybody will walk through, they're like, Writers Guild. This one's on Drew Carey. And they just run up this tab as much as they can.
Yeah, this ongoing act of solidarity has cost him about $10,000 a week at Bob's Big Boy in Burbank.
It's a famous place.
Say that 10 times fast. Wait.
Bob's Big Boy. That's not a very expensive place, so he's bought a lot of food.
Yeah, Bob's Big Boy is the one with the statue.
From Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Where the egg comes out of the butt.
Right.
Cool. Never heard of it, except for Austin Powers. But enough about me and more about Drew Carey's big old bill. It has really created the Cheers atmosphere for us, WGA strike captain Jono Matt. So, Drew, you rock. Thanks for paying for lunch. Now, he announced the offer back in May, only 2 weeks into the strike via Twitter, or X, as some idiots call it. The offer also covers meals at Swingers Diner in Fairfax, as well as dine-in only with tip included. So,
well, that's nice.
Way to go. Someone who has nothing to do with the strike but loves her some mushrooms. Back in the headlines, I ask myself every quarter, what is going on with her?
I've never seen a diamond in
is it Lord?
Yeah, where's Lord? Where's Lordy, Lord? Well, earlier this year, Lord took not one but 2 handfuls of mushrooms and now has survived to tell the tale. she said, or they, I think, are they now?
I don't know.
This is they. Lord said it tastes like green dirt because green has a flavor, and that doesn't mean they didn't enjoy them. I got a lot of information about what my body had been through in our time so far. So that means explosive diarrhea, I can only assume. What it needed, where God was, and where God wasn't. For BH. I felt in my bones how destabilizing it is to leave my home and start a new life the way I did. And to that I say, let's stick it to the music. Listen,
Yeah.
Lord.
I like how celebrities do drugs and then
Tell
they have
me
to make it,
about it.
this gigantic thing.
I'm
Aaron
gonna
Rodgers.
Speak at a conference about it now.
Celebrities do drugs and they make it the entirety of their personality afterwards. And you go, dial it down a little bit.
Yeah, please. We have to have an update. I don't think I even got to the story last week, but rumor had it, reports were showing that this guy right here was really strapped for cash, and you would see it in his latest commercial. Where did I put this damn song?
I don't know.
It's Robert De Niro, by the way.
Robert De Niro.
It turns out he is not reprising his role from taxi driver for an ad for Uber UK.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a lot of people were shaking in their boots because of it. He was going to utter the famous line, "You talking to me?" But it was going to be all up in Uber. A lot of people on the internet were thinking, he's just getting this divorce. Alimony's so bad that we're going to see Robert De Niro in a commercial for
He's
Uber.
getting a divorce? Didn't he just have a kid?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then
you
his
remember how happy he was
divorcement-
about the kid?
Oh.
They said, "Is it true you had a kid?" And that the news that I have had a child is indeed true. And it's like, well, are you excited?
I had to write that one down for when I had the kid.
Sean Seelane, extra point. What is the name of the character from Taxi Driver?
Oh man.
5, 4, 3.
I can't remember it.
I've never seen Taxi Driver.
Travis Bickle.
Okay. I probably would have got it a multiple choice.
The ads were allegedly set to feature the actor uttering the famous line, "You talking to me?" Now, the actor's rep, Stan Rosenfield, denied that De Niro would be uttering the well-known phrase, and in a statement said De Niro's Uber commercial has nothing to do with the Taxi Driver commercial, or the character that he's going to be portraying or not portraying.
He should not be doing that character anymore. And here's the thing. You know, we've been talking about how the presidents and the politicians are too old in this country. So are the action heroes. Nobody wants to see Sylvester Stallone at 8 billion years old
Adrian!
lug his fat ass across the movie screen and pretend to jump out of the way of exploding
say
trucks.
That to Expendables 4. You
Yeah,
almost
because
killed me. You're welcome.
How well did that do this weekend? I don't know if it's just because they couldn't promote it that much, or if it's just because people are like, please, I don't want to see geriatric people.
Well, that's why he was in Bad Grandpa.
That's fine. That I would check out, right? Like the stuff where, like Robert De Niro, he went into the Meet the Fockers kind of stuff and did those. It's like, okay, that makes sense. I'm not buying you as a badass anymore.
Now, speaking of old people in wheelchairs, it has nothing to do with it except for wheelchairs. But this gal, the Queen, came through big time for a fan.
On stage rocking out stir crazy.
The Queen.
Oh, Beyonce?
Beyonce is right. And it was a 34-year-old named John Hetherington. And he had tickets to see Beyonce in Seattle, but he suffers from cerebral palsy.
Oh, damn.
An old CP. Uses a wheelchair, and when he tried to board a flight from Oregon, the chair was too big to load onto the plane, and he missed the flight.
What the hell?
Right? First of all, sounds like a lawsuit headed their way, but they couldn't make the alternate accommodations for John, so he missed the show, vented his frustrations on TikTok. Video gets to Beyonce, who invited him to the Houston show and paid for everything.
Oh, nice.
Flew him out, made sure that the airplane could carry the chair, and then she got to meet him personally. So that sounds pretty awesome.
Is he fat or something?
I didn't.
Because is there
cerebral palsy?
No, but is there fat guy wheelchairs? Because why else would the airline not be able to
I think
accommodate a wheelchair?
Because I don't think it's the fold wheelchair that you would roll yourself. I think it's the electric wheelchair.
I feel like they should be able to accommodate those
Yeah.
too. I feel like the ADA would say that they would have to accommodate those.
You'd think, but I think even when they can accommodate them, it's always like you have to have someone carry you to the chair, and then
Yeah.
you have to worry about making sure once you land that your chair hasn't been damaged. Like, it's so expensive and all the electronic parts, they're often finding themselves with damaged wheelchairs and no place to go.
Do you think stories like these are exactly as we are meant to think they are? Like Beyonce found out about this guy and Beyonce, like, told her assistant, make it happen. Or do some of these bigger artists have like a
PR team,
a goodwill department?
She has a huge PR team, I would imagine, but who knows? Maybe she saw it and then she's like, here, do something.
Yeah. And I appreciate it. We'll do that for somebody one day, I'm sure, right? We did it for, what happened to that guy? Right Side Scott.
Right. Well, we also did it for the young guy who we brought to Disney World that one time.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And we got that kid a metal detector.
Yeah, Sean just didn't find that girl's parents, though. That was the only thing.
Hey, our batting percentage is still pretty good, I think.
Thank you very much. Sports, baby, on the boob tube. Speaking of sports, we got Monday Night Football, the Bucks and the Eagles. And I think there's a second game as well, right? John,
I guess. I don't know.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, they're doing like Monday Night Football doubleheaders, which is kind of strange, but that's interesting.
As long as my Puka baby gets me some points, I'll be happy. Fashion event, Victoria's Secret's The Tour 23 on Amazon. There you have it. 24th season premiere of The Voice. Series premiere of Kitchen Nightmares on Fox. Second season premiere of Special Forces World's Toughest Test on Fox as well, and the series premiere of The Irrational on NBC. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra, and most importantly, say it with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. When we come back, we'll not only hear from you, but we'll get into something absolutely insane that happened with a Pennsylvania State Police trooper. This could straight up be a movie. It's a nightmare, and it was captured on video, too. So we're going to hear what happened in this situation, and that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
3 general managers, 5 midday shows, and 1 corporate bankruptcy. Restructuring. Celebrating 30 years of Real Radio 104.1. Thanks for keeping the dream alive over 3 decades.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your Monday is going great so far. And right now, if you're behind the wheel on the major highways and roads of Orlando, seems like a couple of delays. Of course, your usual east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535. But thankfully, the 408 is clear east and westbound. So is the Turnpike north and southbound, as well as the Greenway. Right now, there are incidents reported in the city. However, Cayley Street, and that's between Rio Grande Avenue and OBT at Nashville, and also Narcoossee southbound at Boggy Creek. Careful there. Our Safe Touch security line is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by The Mark Moss Show.
The end of the International Monetary Order is here, but does that mean we'll be using CBDCs? I'm Mark Moss, helping you navigate the decentralized revolution. Listen to The Mark Moss Show on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming October 11th.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get a 10-pack of our best-selling sauces with free shipping at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
Morgan & Morgan is not only America's largest injury law firm, we're also the only injury law firm in the world with lawyers licensed in all 50 states. With dedicated attorneys focused on personal injury, medical malpractice, insurance disputes, car crashes, employee rights, and many others, we have a 30-year track record of getting results for clients just like you. So wherever you are, whatever you need, our firm is ready to take your call. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Chief White House correspondent Kristen Welker joins me now.
From across the nation.
What is the #1 issue for you?
To the national stage.
And I welcome you to the final 2020 presidential debate.
When critical votes were counted.
Still too close to call.
And when power was held to account.
Is abuse of power an impeachable offense?
Kristen Welker met the moment. Now she joins Meet the Press as its new moderator.
If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Sundays on NBC.
It's hot. We all know that. Have you noticed your power bill is skyrocketing? The current cost of energy is the highest it's ever been, and it's probably going to just keep getting higher. Solar Source can change that for you. I recently took the plunge with Solar Source with my pool heater, and man, it's been a game changer. I love working with Solar Source. Solar Source has nearly 40 years in the business. They bring the power of the sun to over 6,000 Central Florida homes since 1984. Mine and my mom's and my sister's included. Solar Source makes it easy with a free estimate. Monster listeners, they have an online tool that lets you get your own solar estimate in just 30 seconds. No pressure, no salesman, just the facts. You can harness your own power and stop wasting thousands of dollars every year renting your electricity at higher and higher prices. Visit solarsource.com/monsters and see how easy it is to get your instant hassle-free quote. Solar Source, the most trusted name in solar. solarsource.com/monsters.
Can we talk about your allergies? I know, there's nothing you can do for them, right? Well, thanks to Aspire Allergy and Sinus, there is. More than 8 out of 10 Aspire patients find relief that lasts for years. Even people like you who thought there was no cure for their allergies. Look, inflation is still a thing, and those over-the-counter allergy meds aren't getting any cheaper. Aspire Allergy and Sinus has solutions that last, so you can save in the long run. Go to AspireAllergy.com to book your appointment today. AspireAllergy.com.
If you ride a motorcycle in Florida, someone can hit you and hurt you and legally not have insurance to pay you. Uninsured motorist coverage can help save you from financial ruin. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
These days, there are plenty of things to worry about, but keeping pests out of your home shouldn't be one of them. That's why you need Massey Services. Massey eliminates pests before they get inside. They start by carefully inspecting the inside and outside of your home and then focus customized treatments on the outside. Best of all, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
Call Extreme Air and Electric. When you're in need, call the Extreme team.
Visit Extreme Air online today at extremeairandelectrical.com for special financing available on new home comfort systems. That's your hometown Train experts online at extremeairandelectric.com today. License EAC 1817433.
Call Extreme for your air and electric. When you're in need, call the Extreme team.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance abuse crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow. Guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
No payments until 2024 with approved credit? Visit nationstrucks.com right now.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios.
Why Kaufman and Lind?
Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Well, he must have heard us talking about him because former President Jimmy Carter popped up at the weekend. This guy he's going to live forever, I guess. They said they thought when they put him in hospice, he was going to live like a matter of days or weeks, and that was 7 months ago. And Jimmy Carter's still alive, and Jimmy Carter went to a peanut festival this weekend.
Oh, crazy guy.
He's out there at 99 years old, and you see him just hanging out at the Plains Peanut Festival.
Now, when you see him hanging out, because I feel like you could tell, does he know where he's at? Or is it like the, oh?
I think he knows. I don't think his wife knows as much because Rosalind Carter has dementia that they diagnosed her with in May. So I don't know that she's kind of aware what's going on. But he made a rare public appearance over the weekend. And we just
the only
finished
reason he's allowed to go.
Yeah,
if she had her wits about her, she'd be like, "No, you're not allowed to go to that peanut festival.
God.
You're going to get COVID and die."
I thought that was weird. We hadn't heard about him in quite some time, and then all of a sudden he pops back up, and there he is. He's like, you see him waving inside this black SUV that's driving him by.
Hey, everybody, peanut time.
So you said there's curse words in this video that
I thought I only got through like the first 30 seconds, which, by the way, it is so weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. Very, very weird.
But I can, if you want, try to edit it real quick.
No. Don't worry about that. I've got it up and I got it muted, but we'll talk about this first here because this is just absolutely insane. And I want to give you the details of what's going on here, okay? It says, a Pennsylvania state police trooper allegedly had his ex-girlfriend illegally committed to a psych ward. All right? He had her illegally committed.
But what did she do to him?
Right.
But his crazy plan backfired after he was caught on video violently restraining her as she begged for her release. Now, they say caught on video. I thought that I saw something that said he was having this person film this, like he wanted this person to film this, but maybe it was somebody on her side.
The person is not talking at all. The person is just standing there filming everything.
And he is physically restraining this woman, all right? This woman is not his wife, even though he does have a wife. He's married. This is not his wife.
Look at that.
This is his ex-girlfriend. And he decided to go over, grab her, and restrain her. And then he called his cop buddies, and his cop buddies came over, and they brought her to a psych ward. And I think she was locked into the psych ward for like 4 days.
Jesus,
for 4 days. They kept her there, and there was an involuntary commitment order, and this woman was tossed in a mental health facility against her will by this guy. It says, Ronald Davis was arrested last Thursday and charged with felony strangulation, unlawful restraint, false imprisonment, and simple assault. The video of him, it's in front of me. I'll describe it to everybody else. He's like got her pinned down on some like driveway area.
Oh my gosh. And it's like, what was hard for me to listen to was the rumbling that they're having, and it's all rocks. Like,
yeah.
You guys are getting real cut up there, aren't
Like she's got shorts on and she's trying to just escape him as he just tries to overpower because he's physically much larger than she is.
And he's like, don't fight me. Don't fight me. Don't resist.
So insane, the visuals on this. I'll put it up on See It Now during the break so everybody could take a peek.
Did you see all his charges?
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of stuff against him. And when you watch the video, you're like, yeah, I understand that. I understand. Can you imagine being her? And all of a sudden, you get involuntarily committed into a psych ward, which you have to stay out for 4 days. And you go, what the hell, everybody? Somebody let me out of here. Ronald Davis was arrested, charged with felony strangulation, unlawful restraint, false imprisonment, simple assault, recklessly endangering another person, and official oppression. So there's a litany of charges for him.
Official oppression?
Yeah, he's married with a family, but he had an intimate relationship with his now former girlfriend. And they said Davis allegedly unlawfully secured an involuntary commitment order and had the woman tossed in a mental health facility against her will. Which
And
they
for
have
what? Don't you have to give a reason before you toss someone involuntarily?
Yes, they have the ability for you to do this, just like they have the ability for you to Baker Act people and those other things. But in my estimation, in my opinion, it should be this way. But in my estimation, isn't it generally the case that it has to be a family member that would get somebody involuntarily committed? Like, I can't involuntarily commit Sabrina, I would hope.
You can.
Just a random person can?
Not
I almost
random,
did once.
But it is like, close friends that have, at least with Florida, like Baker acting could be the call of friends instead of just a family member. I mean, if you don't have a family member to vouch for it.
I mean, but you got to protect against cases like this.
But there's also, I feel like, backup for it, man. When we had to Baker Act a family member, it was like, they're going through a manic episode right now. These are the things that happen. This is, and I even believe at the point of not submitting, but like taking them to the hospital, that they had to say, okay, I'll go in. Like they still had to consent a little bit.
Well, this woman is clearly not consenting, right?
No.
The one that you're saying, she is not behind this at all. And he's just like, yep, you're going. A friend went along with Davis to record him taking the woman into custody before turning the video over to the DA who released it publicly. That's the district attorney. She pleads with him to get off her, telling him, this isn't normal. Can I please get up? I didn't do anything wrong except disagree with you. The woman tries to break free, wrestling with Davis and elbowing him in the back. But Davis is too strong and keeps her under his control until more cops arrive, and she's taken to the hospital to be evaluated. She spent 5 complete days in the psych ward before getting discharged, but she shouldn't have been there in the first place.
That's insane,
They said
man.
they had a 4-month rocky relationship, and he said, I know you're not crazy, but I'll paint you as crazy. I know the law, he said to her.
Oh, that's what he said in the video?
I don't know if he says that in the video, but they quoted that from, it says, the DA said Davis carried on a 4-month rocky relationship with a woman, threatening her at one point by saying, quote, I know you're not crazy. I'll paint you as crazy.
Wow.
I know the law, this guy said. So
usually, that's the part that you leave out when you're being recorded.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but he was saying things in the recording, and like the recording looks so bad. Anybody who's watching this is going to think that this is a slam dunk case against this guy who will hopefully never be a police officer after this. Maybe a testament to some of the people who end up in the ranks of the police, organizations around this country. Why? Because they're just power hungry people. Some of them, it's the rotten apples, the few, but the loud. And let's see here. Police trooper arrests, holds ex-girlfriend. I'm putting this up on See It Now so you can check this out and to see it for yourself, since I've already hit my limit of bad words that we can say on the show today.
Yes, quota met.
Don't want to do any more of those. Don't want any more heartbeats racing up in the air. Let's keep it cool on a Monday. We're going to hear from you with your dispatches, and let's work in a couple of those now. We got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Here is Z8 talking about this woman that was committed.
Does this dude have a playbook or some instructions on how to get someone involuntarily committed?
No.
Just a question.
Nice, sir. Very good. Yes. Here's wildlife wrestler with a dispatch.
Hey, News Junkies. Hey. Talking about tattoos in the workplace. About 10 years ago, when I got hired, I took my earrings out for an interview, and the 60-something-year-old man who ran the company told me that he could see the holes in my ears, and that if he hired me, I would never wear my earrings again. And I didn't the whole time I worked for him. But they also had the policy on tattoos and everything. Mm-hmm. And I opened up a market for them out in Las Vegas, and I hired all kinds of people with tattoos all over their arms.
Good for you.
And no one knew anything about it until we went to our first regional conference. And then I got talking to. But I had a really good crew of people, one of the best in the company. So they made an exception for the Las Vegas market. And now you can have tattoos wherever you want in that company.
Nice.
So, wiggle, wiggle. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's such an old school, dumb thing. These policies that are left in place. He's talking about on Friday when we said that there are still firefighters in the country who can't have tattoos. And, He goes, 0 people care when the firefighters show up on the scene if they have tattoos. None, not one. Your house is on fire. You want a firefighter to help put out the fire as fast as they possibly can. I want somebody who's equipped for the job.
Whoa. Put that hose down, sir. I won't have this tribal markings on the person that saves my house.
Yeah, I'd rather my house burn than have some tattooed, covered hippie out here doing this. No one thinks this way. It's just super old stuff. It would be like being against long hair on guys in 2023. Nobody does that anymore. Or if they do, they're really, really old. Here's Sin's solution.
Hey, junkies, how's it going?
Hey.
Sean, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to call you out on this one. You just got done saying how nobody wants to go see old actors in action roles, but The Expendables always makes money. John Wick always makes money. And you just went to go see a 68-year-old Denzel Washington in The Equalizer.
Yeah.
So, obviously, there's still an audience.
Let me tell you something here. Denzel in The Equalizer is the only exception. He's the only exception to this because he is getting older and they play into that in his character a little bit. But that movie did good. That Equalizer movie made a bunch of money just like the other ones did. But I'm not Equalizer. Yeah, The Equalizer. But the Expendables movie this weekend got beat out by a horror movie. It made like $7 or $8 million. That's I imagine the budget for that movie was enormous. It's never going to make that money back up at this pace. And I think it shows that people are not super into that franchise right now. There's other things out there that I go, well, I got to give it to them. When they release a new Fast and the Furious movie, I'm like, I couldn't care less. But it does well. So obviously, even though it's not hitting with me, it's hitting with enough people that it's successful. But the Expendables one, not so much.
But isn't there like a really random person that's in this Expendables 4? Like someone, isn't there like a rapper? Now, I remember seeing the trailer and like, they're doing the acting thing now, huh?
All right, we got Expendables 4, which they do the most annoying thing where they put the 4 as the A in the word Expendables, where it's just really, really forced in there. All right, it's got Jason Statham, Sylvester Stallone, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture, and 50 Cent is in it.
That's what it was. Yep, but he's acted.
Yeah, he's been in some things. Megan Fox, Tony Jaa, some of these names I don't recognize. Andy Garcia. It's got a big cast, but it just did not do well. The budget was $100 million, and so far it's only brought in $19 million at the box office. Woo! Maybe it catches up. Maybe they can very quickly do this deal with the actors so they can get out there and promote last minute and try to get people to see the Expendables movie, or maybe this is where it's supposed to be. Maybe it just fails, because sometimes that's what happens with these movies. I want to see this new one. Oh, I can't remember the name of it right now. Damn it, man.
The sloth one?
No, you're not that one. Oh. There's one that they're airing in trailers right now, and somebody, I think on Discord, was the one who brought this to my attention, and it's about a future where AI has taken over and gone to war with the humans.
That's like 12 different movies.
Well, this one...
That's also in a couple weeks, like at this
in real
point,
life.
in this speed.
Yeah, they said you got to protect the ultimate weapon that the AI has that can kill us. And the ultimate weapon looks like a little kid, but it's like a little kid robot. And oh my God, it looks wild. Somebody on chat, tell me what the name of this movie is. The previews are in theaters right now. The Creator, that's it. Bunch of people knowing this. The Creator is what it's called. And the trailer for that looks super good to me. I'm just going to have to strong arm Courtney into it because she hates alien stuff. We did get to watch, God damn it, man, I'm not remembering anything. Hulu, Aliens.
So you still haven't watched Invasion?
No, not yet, but I'm going to get to it. I know that I keep saying that. But there's a movie that just dropped on Hulu that's called No One Will Save You that we watched this weekend.
Oh, how was that?
It was really good. And it's one of these movies where it's like this woman who's living in this cabin, and then it's a thriller horror movie where there's actual aliens. Normally, Courtney would have been like, nope, not doing it. I hate aliens. But it was like one of those edge of your seats kind of scaring you the whole time. The monster moves in like creepy ways that get you. It was one of those movies. Plus, it's on Hulu, and I already subscribed to that. Here's Canine Brownie talking about the Baker Act.
Good afternoon, junkies.
Hey.
Yeah, in Florida, anyone can get an ex parte order, which is a Baker Act, basically, from a judge on any person as long as they can describe that they are evidence of self-harm or harm against another, and it includes Marchman Act, which involves alcoholism and narcotics and drugs and drug abuse. They have to petition the judge, and then the judge will find whether there's cause for the ex parte, and then send it over to the sheriff's office where they actually remove them from the home and take them to mental health. So hopefully that clears things up. Have a great day.
Yeah, I'm not here to say that's not useless. I mean, I'm not here to say that's not useful in some very particular circumstances. In fact, it's a very, very useful tool. But I would just want to make sure that they're making this a really strict process where you can't just go, hey, this person's an alcoholic, lock them up for 4 days. No, I don't want that happening. And I guess maybe seeing the outcome that this officer has been charged is some evidence that the process can work afterwards, at least. But would this officer have been charged if the person didn't film the video of him grabbing this woman and tackling her and holding her down? Sometimes the video footage is everything. Sometimes that is what gets you. That could have been what got him here. Okay, quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from you, lots of you joining in. There is a story that is very, very, very scary to me. And a lot of stories like this make me react in like a very physical way. There was a woman, she's on the Ferris wheel, and as she's going around enjoying herself, she's got some pretty long hair, and her hair got caught in the apparatus of the Ferris wheel. No. She was 25 feet up in the air as this was happening, and they had to try to rescue this woman. It's unbelievable, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Now that we've all quit Facebook and started talking to each other again, what's that? Nobody's quit Facebook? Facebook.com/RealRadioOrlando. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your Monday is going great so far. And right now, if you're behind the wheel on the major highways and roads of Orlando, seems like a couple of delays. Of course, your usual east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535. But thankfully, the 408 is clear east and westbound. So is the Turnpike north and southbound, as well as the Greenway. Right now, there are incidents reported in the city. However, Cayley Street, and that's between Rio Grande Avenue and OBT at Nashville, and also Narcoossee southbound at Boggy Creek. Careful there. Our Safe Touch security line is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Warehouse of Kissimmee. It's the grand opening of Mattress Warehouse, now open to the public, with savings up to 70% on brand name mattresses and free delivery. Visit them on Flora Boulevard in Kissimmee. MattressWarehouse.com.
The biggest stars in all of music shared this stage at our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Brought to you by Capital One.
Let me hear you.
Foo Fighters.
Fall Out Boy.
Kelly
Clarkson.
Kane Brown.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Durk. Lenny Kravitz.
Miguel.
Public Enemy.
Sheryl Crow. Travis Scott. Tim McGraw.
TLC. 30 Seconds to Mars.
The most massive live music event of the year.
See all the action now at iHeartRadio.com/festival. And get ready to relive it with an iHeartRadio Music Festival special.
Streaming on Hulu next month.
Jeep Adventure Days is going on now. Hurry in for great deals on a great selection of Jeep brand vehicles. Well-qualified returning FCA lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x2 for $409 a month for 39 months with $2,999 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Chrysler Capital. Current lease must end by 9/30/24. Extra charge for miles over 32,500. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 10/2. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Everyone could use a little help with their bills, especially these days. At Duke Energy, we're offering easy ways to help keep your energy bills more manageable. With programs that allow you to pay the same amount each month or pay in installments. Plus, special financial assistance from the Share the Light Fund for those facing hardships. We're Duke Energy, and we're here to help you. Paid for by
When you shop here, you win here. Score the Wing Drive at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Buy now and make no payments for 6 months. Get 0% APR financing on the best team of Nissans anywhere. Sutherland Nissan Orlando. OrlandoNissan.com. Home of the lifetime warranty. See dealer for details.
Your dentist recommends flossing your teeth once a day, but 70% of us ignore this advice because traditional flossing can be, well, a hassle. But Quip's rechargeable water flosser turns you into a flossing fanatic. With gentle and deep clean pressure modes, the Quip water water flosser delivers feel-good flossing, and its clutter-free design includes a long-lasting charge and a 360-degree floss tip for hard-to-reach spots. Right now, get your first floss tip refill free at getquip.com/radio. That's getquip.com/radio.
Papa John's fans have the craziest things to say about our special garlic sauce. That they want to bathe in it, drink it, some even want to marry it. Come on. Now, inspired by all your love, we created our most epic pizza ever. The new Garlic Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza has that garlic flavor.
In it, on it, with it.
That's right. This pizza has that Papa John's garlicky goodness hand stuffed into that cheesy crust and then baked all over it. The new Garlic Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza, available for $13.99, only at Papa John's.
Official pizza of the Orlando Magic.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product and don't know what to do next? Inventors. InventHelp can help you get started with your idea. Call 1-800-INVENTION or go to InventHelp.com to get your free inventors information. They can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Get started with your idea today at InventHelp.com. InventHelp is the leading invention service company. With offices nationwide, they've been helping inventors since 1984. Inventors received more than 10,000 patents through their patent referral services. Don't wait to get started with your idea. For free information, contact your friends at InventHelp. Go to InventHelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. That's InventHelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. They help everyday inventors just like you. Additional services include invention websites, prototype models, technical drawings, and more. They keep your idea confidential and explain every step of their invention services. Remember, that's InventHelp.com. InventHelp.com.
It happens in a matter of seconds, but the aftermath can last a lifetime. Car crash, slip and fall. There's only one Mo you should call. The Mo you know. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
At EasyCater, we get it. Ordering food for work means you have to deal with this. Client meeting on Tuesday.
Client wants Taco Tuesday.
19 people.
Need vegan options.
Our budget just got slashed. Meeting is now Monday.
What about Mediterranean?
Client
still wants taco.
Claire has a nut allergy. Gluten-free. Under budget.
Flavored sodas.
We need vegetarian, vegan, kosher. Tacos for a client meeting? Just use EasyCater. Food for work delivered on time as ordered with a huge variety. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Columbus Day weekend, visit Cocoa Beach on the Space Coast and support the National Kidney Foundation's 38th Annual Surf Fest, featuring hundreds of competitive surfers in pro and amateur divisions, live entertainment, and fun for the entire family. For more information, visit nkfsurf.com.
iHeart Podcast Update this week on your free iHeartRadio app. Unimaginable Season 2. Your host, Mike, sits down with the world's most important chief executives to answer your most pressing questions about leadership, career, and life. The Mark Moss Show, helping you navigate cryptocurrency, business, and financial markets, and more. Sharp Money. This show explores two unique approaches to betting, broadcasting, and life with VSIN fan favorites Patrick Meager and Amal Shaw. Hear these podcasts and more on your free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
No payments until 2024 with approved credit. Visit nationstrucks.com right now.
The latest from Russell Brand. He's blaming all of this on the Matrix. The media is coming out to get him because now he's his own independent media outlet. That's why this is all coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Even though I think that they said, I believe that the investigation by these two news outlets that revealed some accusations against Russell Brand, I believe they said it started before he even did a YouTube channel. So that would kind of run a knife through his theory if that were to be the case. And yeah, his whole thing was, make sure you support me on Rumble. You know, YouTube demonetized me, so go over there.
Rumble's okay with it?
Rumble has been okay so far, but as far as I know, Burger King has dropped out as a sponsor on Rumble specifically related to this. So,
well, then Rumble won't be okay with it, you know, if they start losing big money sponsors.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on how important it is to their brand that they just let, you know, people like this have their platform. because they're going to be about the whole free speech stuff. That's kind of where Rumble came from, right? It was like when you get booted off the other platforms, come over here and you could still exist online. Well, he's out there doing all this stuff. It's really grifter behavior that Russell Brand is up to, which some of you guys like so much. There's so many people who are incredibly rich and powerful influencers online just off being a grifter. I'd have 10 times more money than I have right now if I was just willing morally to make myself a grifter and just to like tell people politically all the exact things that they want to hear and then monetize that like a Tim Pool or something, who when people watch him, a lot of people have no idea that he doesn't even agree with half of the things that he's saying. He just knows what his audience wants to hear, and he wants to be anti-establishment. Everybody wants to be anti-establishment right now. Russell Brand's a different kind of anti-establishment. But there was a fight on one of the shows where they were talking about this, and it's called GBN, which is over in England. And I guess there's a man and a woman on this show together, and the woman had tweeted out, I don't get this, but she had tweeted out that Russell Brand is a hero. And I go,
I mean, even if he had done none of the things he's accused of, what other part of Russell Brand makes him a hero?
Yeah, you could say, like, I want more evidence to see if I believe the accusers in this case, and I would like to see, I would like to wait and hear more from his side of the story. Those are all things that I think are okay. But when you say that he's a hero, like if he had done nothing, like C-Lane said, well, why would he be a hero? He's got a YouTube channel where he screams about all sorts of stuff and gets his YouTube audience riled up, and that's fine. But it's not a hero. Let's hear him get into it a little bit.
We've got to talk about, because what Jonathan Ashworth was referring to was your tweet, Beverly Turner.
This is co-host.
You said about...
Beverly ambush? Yeah, he's ambushing his own co-host.
I like this.
He grabbed the printed out tweet, and he's like, what they're talking about is your tweet.
What's his name?
Russell Brand.
You are being attacked. Establishment need you.
Right
Don't know what to
camera.
do with the fact you have 6 million subscribers.
6.5.
And generate autonomous, knowing and original content. You are welcome on my GB News show anytime. Actually, it's my show too. We are mainstream media, but we are not
If he'd offered to come on
establishment
this morning,
media.
we'd have had him, let's be honest.
But we are not establishment media. There's a difference. Keep going. This proves you're winning.
mad.
You're a hero.
Yeah, she's got her arms crossed, and body language has changed here pretty dramatically. But
It's my show, too. Well, if you would have shown up, what would have happened, blah, blah, blah. We get to see it, and they both stare directly into the camera despite being all of 1.5 feet away from each other.
Yeah, that's why this is so awkward. There's nowhere for anybody to hide, and it's just getting started. I think it gets more awkward.
The love heart emoji.
Yeah.
Bev, that is shameful.
It's not
That is shameful. That is shameful. You have dismissed in one tweet a 4-year investigation by the Sunday Times, the Times, and Channel 4 as contemptuously the mainstream media. A 16-year-old girl has complained of being groomed by this man. 2 women have said they were raped, and there are more and more cases coming out. And you
she's
say
not happy.
You're a hero. Don't you think before you say something?
You know what's weird? He's talking to the camera and not to her right next to him.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
So, like, he could turn his eyes over to her, but I think that maybe feels too confrontational. And so instead,
more confrontational than this? It's kind of hard to be more confrontational than this.
I mean, these folks are working with each other. They have a show together on this GB News, and the Russell Brand issue seems to have very much divided them.
It's amazing to me that that's not something that is, or perhaps it was, a consideration before tweeting out that, and then her body language is now screaming ambush. But, like, did you not think that he was going to bring this up?
Well, I think if you put out something publicly, it's fair to bring it up.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything wrong with
absolutely.
it.
It's just amazing to me that she did this and now is, like, surprised and thrown off that he's going to bring it up on the show that they share together.
Yeah, I think that in his case, the only thing that she would be mad about would be like, dude, you had a whole pile of pages over there of like stuff ready to ambush me with, and you didn't give me a heads up like you're going to go in on me. Maybe she would be mad about that, but he's not done yet. He's still got more.
Hang on. Don't you think before you say he's a hero, you should establish whether these very serious allegations are true?
Well,
what's the answer to that?
Before I tweeted that, I had spoken to several sources close to Brand, close to the Times.
Oh, he's being dismissive.
I was confident that there is no smoking gun in this regard.
Right.
I remain confident, having watched the dispatches, if that is what they've got after 4 years of a joint investigation by the Times newspaper.
Yo, not for nothing here, but she's saying if that's all they have a woman who, after their sexual encounter, texted, like, that was absolutely wrong. How could you do that to me? And he responds like, he doesn't respond, what are you talking about? Yeah. He responds,
sorry, babe.
I'm so sorry, babe. You know, like, how can I make it up to you? Clearly, whatever she was saying in that text message clearly looks like he's at least admitting that to her. So that's not nothing that we're talking about here. In some of these cases, it is nothing. It's somebody with an accusation. It's he said, she said, and there's no like actual evidence to back it up. Text messages are evidence. Text encounters are back and forth between two people, and the way you react to stuff, that's at least some sort of ancillary evidence in a case like this.
And Channel 4, those 4 flimsy allegations from women who choose to stay anonymous, so there is nobody that can counter their version of events. There's nobody who can say, well, hang on, I was there on that occasion. And this is the thing.
Do you have any sympathy
every year,
for these women?
There are 1.1 million.
Sympathy for these women?
Every year.
It's getting awkward. And
I feel like C-Line right now.
It's made more weird by the fact that they won't look at each other.
1.1 million people who are sexually assaulted in this country. Newspapers, like yours, don't care about that until there's a celebrity involved. And then suddenly it's all over the front page of the paper. Of course, everybody has the right to not be sexually assaulted. Anybody who has been sexually assaulted, my heart goes out to them. This happens every single day.
There's not a scintilla of sympathy in this statement on Twitter for these 4 women.
I'm sorry,
none of them know each other.
A scintilla. He says it's not a scintilla, which means the smallest amount. Not even a little bit of sympathy in your tweet. I believe at one point here, he asks her what the allegations are, and I don't think she even knows.
It's also kind of unusual to see this argument between a man and with a man on this side and the woman on the side that she's on. Usually that's flipped.
Right.
You know, usually it's some guy going, well, you know, some women are liars, and you know, the women's getting pissed because they want to back up the person who's making the accusation.
Well, but that's also one of the newest grifter lanes that has popped up with red pill culture and other things. There's people who are women who will go out there, and there's one named Just Pearly Things. And she has built up a huge YouTube channel. She's printing money. She's making tons of money. And what's she doing? She's out there saying women shouldn't be able to vote, and all these just radical, crazy things to stir up an audience.
And yet printing money screams so much that we don't have time for.
Well, there is a ton of business in doing this. I want to hear him confront her on the part about the allegation. I'll tell you what, I'll stop it right there. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll see if he puts her feet to the fire a little bit more. Maybe we can learn something from this. Plus, we got jury duty on the way as well. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Twitter. It's not just for dragging people. It's mostly real radio, just for dragging people. 104.1. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is Clay Travis. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Macy's Backstage.
The Broncos went all in after acquiring Russell Wilson, but not much has gone right. The transition to Sean Payton as head coach was supposed to change all of that, but after 3 games, not much has changed. The team is currently 0-3 and allowed 70 points in a loss to Miami on Sunday. And after awarding Wilson and Payton over $340 million in contracts the last 2 seasons, patience has to be growing thin in Mile High. I'm Dan Patrick.
What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Here's a hint. Fall finds for $25 and under, like sharp blazers, cozy sweaters, cargo pants, jackets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
My name is Lee Witherell. We've never had anything like this happen to us. This was our first time. We're not lawsuit people. It was just an accident, a random tragic accident. I knew Morgan & Morgan was huge. I remember y'all's billboards. They're hilarious, by the way. The process after we made the first initial phone call, they were really, really nice and very empathetic, and they were very quick. We never set foot in a Morgan & Morgan office. It was all emails and phone calls. Everything was electronic. Everything was DocuSign, no surprises. Morgan & Morgan makes it easy.
Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. With over 2 million phone calls last year alone, more people in more cities across America want more Morgan & Morgan. When you hire Morgan & Morgan, you're also hiring a family business. And after 35 years, we now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
At EasyCater, we get it. Ordering food for work means you have to deal with this.
Client meeting on Tuesday. Client wants Taco Tuesday.
19 people.
Need vegan options. Our budget just got slashed. Meeting is now Monday. What about Mediterranean? Client still wants taco.
Claire has a nut allergy.
Gluten-free.
Under budget.
Flavored sodas.
Is there vegan?
We need
vegetarian, vegan, tacos. Tacos for a client meeting? Just use EasyCater. Food for work delivered on time as ordered with a huge variety. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
That's right. It's a real mess out there, Kate. We're seeing heavy congestion on the eastbound lanes of the main expressway with traffic backed up for miles.
What do traffic and debt have in common? You don't want to be in either for too long. Move into the fast lane with Fairwinds Credit Union. We'll help you set goals, save more, and be your guide to achieving financial freedom together. Visit fairwinds.org/together and become a member today. Fairwinds. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
Are you tired of those glasses and contacts getting in the way of your active lifestyle? Well, look no further. At the Filatowski Eye Institute, they're not just a LASIK practice with over 65,000 successful LASIK procedures. They're a world-class experience backed by over 3 decades of serving Central Florida. Precise custom treatments that will have you seeing clearer than ever before. Do this. Text 1041 to 868686 and discover the freedom of a life without glasses or contacts. Just text 1041 to 868686 and schedule your LASIK consultation today.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
It's hot. We all know that. Have you noticed your power bill is skyrocketing? The current cost of energy is the highest it's ever been, and it's probably going to just keep getting higher. Solar Source can change that for you. I recently took the plunge with Solar Source with my pool heater, and man, it's been a game changer. I love working with Solar Source. Solar Source has nearly 40 years in the business. They bring the power of the sun to over 6,000 Central Florida homes since 1984. Mine and my mom's and my sister's included. Solar Source makes it easy with a free estimate. Monster listeners, they have an online tool that lets you get your own solar estimate in just 30 seconds. No pressure, no salesman, just the facts. You can harness your own power and stop wasting thousands of dollars every year renting your electricity at higher and higher prices. Visit solarsource.com/monsters and see how easy it is to get your instant hassle-free quote. Solar Source, the most trusted name in solar. solarsource.com/monsters.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit millsair.com.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
If there's anything better than getting a few of your favorite things from McDonald's, it's getting a few of your favorite things from McDonald's for less in the McDonald's app. Delicious. Order in the McDonald's app today. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Use mobile order and pay on the McD app and get 25% off any purchase of $5 or more, like a steak, egg, and cheese bagel meal. At participating McDonald's, valid once a day through 12/31/23, excludes tax, must opt into rewards.
I've perfected my buy one, get one game putting in reps at the outlet mall. Now I'm ready for McDonald's buy one, get one for $2 deal. I can pick up Big Mac with 2 all-beef patties and Big Mac sauce, or 100% fresh beef quarter pounder with cheese, or a juicy 10-piece chicken McNuggets made with all white meat chicken, or a fillet of fish with crispy fish and melty American cheese. When I buy one, I get one for just $2. I'm finally ready to go BOGO Pro. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Hear the latest news from the headlines on your phone. Download the free iHeartRadio app for exclusive live coverage of breaking news. From what's happening where you live to what's happening across the country. Live from the center of the story. Listen for free anywhere, anytime. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online. Qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
HCA Florida Mount Dora Emergency, located near the intersection of U.S. Highway 441 and Eudora Road, is now open 24/7. Visit hcafloridahealthcare.com to learn more. This emergency department is part of HCA Florida Lake Monroe Hospital. This is not an urgent care center. Its services are billed at hospital rates.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming October 11th.
Jury duty in just a moment. Plus, I'll pay off that tease on the Ferris wheel incident, which is one of those ones where you're just glad it wasn't you.
Oh, that was just long enough to forget about the Ferris wheel thing until you mentioned it.
Well, we got caught up in this other thing, and I want to finish this, but I did want to remind people that we will get to that Ferris wheel story as well. But we've been listening to this back and forth that's so awkward from GBN, which is a TV news channel in England. And this guy and his co-hosts are going at it over the Russell Brand allegations, the whole story about Russell Brand. And he's responded. Russell Brand said, like, hey, the mainstream media is out to get me here. They did this because I'm doing my YouTube channel now, and they're coming to tear me down because I'm a threat to the establishment. He's fully on the anti-establishment arc, right? That's what he's doing right now. And I say, when I look at this and I read the story and I saw the report, I was like, there's definitely some stuff in here that is at the very least creepy as hell, if not an admission that you committed some sort of crime here. And I think it's way worse than some people are saying. But the woman on the show that we're going over right now, she tweeted out that Russell Brand was a hero. And the male co-anchor is pissed off at her, and it's just kind of getting really awkward between them.
Also mentioning, like, you can come on our show whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Heart emoji. So it's like, hey, you want to run this by me before telling the millions of people that are now talking about it internationally?
Yeah. She said if he was willing to accept an appearance, you would have had him on today. So, like, they're even fighting over that. Like, this is uncomfortable. And as I said, both of them are looking at the camera instead of just turning and looking at one another, which might be a more interesting dynamic, but this is how they're doing it. And I thought that he at some point challenged her to say, like, what are the accusations? And she didn't really have a good grasp of it. So I wanted to see. Let's go through this.
It's a very big thing to go public. And you say this proves journalistic curiosity. Keep going. This proves you're winning. What, winning by allegedly raping and grooming 16-year-olds? You're a hero, Love Heart.
Let me tell you why he's winning. He's winning because he is a man who generates his own content under his own speed, on his own expense. Yeah, he is a threat to all of these newspapers.
The ones that you write for when you can.
I love newspapers. Right. Don't get me wrong. I love this industry.
So that's more important than these allegations by these women.
She is a big-time Russell Brand simp. Like, she is fully in the bag for this guy right now. He's a big threat. He's got a YouTube channel.
Now?
No,
Why now?
It's taken 4 years. It's taken 4 years for this.
And that's all they've got. Why didn't those women go to the police? Why haven't they gone to the police now?
The allegations, they're increasing in their number, and I guarantee to you this is going to be a huge investigation, a huge story, and I'm astonished that you leapt to his defense before you can have read.
By the way, he's not wrong about that. They already said that the BBC and one other news outlet was opening up an investigation into this because some of the things are alleged to have taken place while Russell Brand worked at those channels. Because he worked on BBC and he worked for a couple of radio stations. And so those companies are opening up their own investigations now. And so he's right about that.
And what this woman is saying is like also the go-to. Why now? Why didn't you speak up when it happened?
But why now doesn't hold up. That's why I said that earlier. I was like, why now doesn't?
Absolutely does not hold up. And the fact that she's still saying that, it's like, have you been in this industry for as long as you're saying? Like, you realize why now makes complete sense? Why you can't just go based off of one person, why people would wait, why victims are scared to speak up. All of this completely makes sense.
I think that what this woman is doing is she's decided ahead of time, like, I'm going to be Russell Brand's simp. I'm going to say, you're a hero. And then I'm going to post hoc try to, like, formulate some arguments to defend that. And that's why it seems like he's clearly the victor here in the back and forth between the two of them, because he's got the facts on his side instead of deciding afterwards, or deciding beforehand what his opinion was going to be. Let's see, there's only like a minute left.
Content in the last 3 years. You have no idea who he is now. You have no idea what he represents.
Had you watched the Dispatches show when you put that tweet out on Saturday morning?
No, but that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
There was nothing
you hadn't even seen the Dispatches programme when you put out he is a hero. You hadn't even seen the Dispatches programme.
He would not.
Oh, that's bad. She hadn't even watched the show that had all the allegations on it, that laid out the case. She hadn't even watched that before she sent out the tweet that said Russell Brand was a hero, which is exactly why I'm telling you that she decided ahead of time, I'm going to go Team Russell Brand on this, and I'll post hoc try to get my arguments together. And now he's bodying her on live television
without even looking in her eyes.
And she could have lied. Why not just lie? Be like, yes, I totally watched the show beforehand. Like, you would have like a little more credibility if you lied and said you had seen the accusations.
I mean, would you though?
Yes. If they would have thought like she saw the show, and even after seeing the whole show, she made up her mind that Russell Brand was not in the wrong, and she's taking a principled stance to defend Russell Brand here. But if she says she never even watched it, she just decided beforehand, like, yeah, this is not true. That's a bad look. That is not a good look for her, and probably going to lead to some behind-the-scenes arguments between the two of them.
I don't know. I like the on-the-scenes arguments are pretty good as well.
Play on the field, I guess. This is the story I teased earlier. They said, this is the horrifying moment a woman got her hair caught in a Ferris wheel, leaving her trapped and in agony 25 feet above the ground.
Oh, my God.
At an amusement park in India.
Chill down my spine, man.
It's like when you hear about somebody working in a factory and their hair gets caught in the machine or something. I think this is it, C-Line. You can see they're trying to zoom in. She's up there and her hair is like caught into the inner workings of the Ferris wheel, and she was screaming. They said festival staff in northern India raced to stop the Ferris wheel, and then two were members of staff, and then another person who was just an onlooker decided to start climbing it. And like some guy who's just watching decided to start climbing up the Ferris wheel, and they were trying to move it around back and forth and get her out of there. They balanced the metal frame while trying to saw through the woman's hair with a knife.
So she's got a thick mop.
Yeah, and it could have been fatal, they said, but the panic woman was trapped and unable to move. They were able to finally free her after sawing through her hair.
Does this mean she was like hanging her head out the basket when you're not supposed to hang your head out the basket? You know, you're supposed to keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times, kind of deal?
Yeah, you can see that her head is right up against the side of the ride, the Ferris wheel. And then, as you know, you're spinning around on it, obviously going by various other things. And as she was doing this, her hair hooked up into it. And thankfully for her, I mean, she really could have died. She easily could have died in that situation. Oh, I said situation. Too bad.
Okay. I think it was your first one, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe first for today. All right, here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MOE, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, you have all sorts of options because there's lots of attorneys out there, but a lot of them are going to screw you over or just settle as fast as they can and not make sure that they're listening to you, hearing your story, and going to fight against the insurance companies with that information as weapons. Mo DeWitt's ready to do that. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. Real quick in jury duty, the Los Angeles Times now says the LAPD is investigating a midnight heist of a Buddha statue in front of a gallery. These Buddha statues...
fascinates me when you hear about a heist that involves something that weighs hundreds of pounds.
Yeah, it was outside. It was in front of a place outside. It was a 250-pound Buddha statue that was bronze. How much do you... did I tell you how much it was or no? I don't think I said how much yet.
Nope. So I'm going to go...
250-pound bronze Buddha statue that was in front of this business. They stole it around 3 a.m. How much money do you think this thing was worth?
I think it's worth $15,000.
$15,000 on the loose. What about you, C-Lane? $20,000 for you. And it is $1.5 million. Damn. And they just left it out in front of this place, outside.
You wouldn't think anyone would steal it.
They thought it was too big to steal.
How do you flip that?
I don't know. That's so specific. But it was at the Barakat Gallery in Los Angeles, and they pulled up, they backed a rental van into the driveway, broke through a gate, entered to a storage yard, grabbed this 250-pound bronze Buddha statue. It took less than 25 minutes, and they were out of there at 3 a.m., and they said they don't know if it's somebody who was a connoisseur or somebody who was just going to, and this is terrible to think about, just take it to the scrapyard and go, here's a bronze, give me the value in bronze of this thing. And just do it for some cash.
Wait, do you think it was that much in bronze, the $1 million price point?
I don't know if it could have been. How much is bronze worth? Because we know it's 250 pounds.
I thought not that much.
How much is 250 pounds of bronze worth? Let's see. It can't be that much. It must be a lot of that.
Maybe
$2. It says $2.30 a pound.
Yeah, so it's getting its value from somewhere else.
It's getting its value from the art, from the person who created it, and somebody ended up stealing the damn thing. Okay, when we come back, we'll get to, they're rebooting something, which is just a god-awful idea, so I'm going to scream about that for a second.
Yay.
And then your thoughts, because you have a lot of stuff on your mind. Lots of dispatches are dropping in. Make yours one of them. Go to thenewsjunkie.com, hit record on your first dispatch right now. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio 104.1 is 30 years old. Guess it's time to move out of our parents' guest house. Garage. Thanks for keeping the dream alive over 3 decades.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your Monday is going great so far. And right now, if you're behind the wheel on the major highways and roads of Orlando, seems like a couple of delays. Of course, your usual east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535. But thankfully, the 408 is clear east and westbound. So is the Turnpike north and southbound, as well as the Greenway. Right now, there are incidents reported in the city. However, Cayley Street, and that's between Rio Grande Avenue and OBT at Nashville, and also Narcoossee southbound at Boggy Creek. Careful there. Our Safe Touch security line is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa has pizza. Wawa has pizza, and it's freshly made. Wawa has pizza until 3 a.m. Brought to you by Wawa, who now has pizza starting at 4 p.m. Wawa has pizza. Gotta have a Wawa.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
At EasyCater, we get it. Ordering food for work means you have to deal with this.
Client meeting on Tuesday.
Client wants Taco Tuesday.
19 people.
Need vegan options.
Our budget just got slashed. Meeting is now Monday.
What about Mediterranean? Client still wants taco.
Claire has a nut allergy. Gluten-free. Under
budget.
Flavored
sodas.
Is there vegan?
We need
vegetarian, vegan, kosher, halal, gluten-free tacos.
Tacos for a client meeting? Just use EasyCater. Food for work delivered on time as ordered with a huge variety. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Chief White House correspondent Kristen Welker joins me now.
From across the nation.
What is the #1 issue for you?
To the national stage.
And I welcome you to the final 2020 presidential debate.
When critical votes were counted.
Still too close to call.
And when power was held to account.
Is abuse of power an impeachable offense?
Kristen Welker met the moment. Now she joins Meet the Press as its new moderator.
If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Sundays on NBC.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow. Guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
GimmeTheVin.com has made it fast. We've made it easy, and we're the only 5-star BBB rated car dealer out there.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Attention homeowners, get Choice Home Warranty's award-winning service for 25 major systems and appliances before a breakdown. Get a free quote right now. Just dial pound 250 and say home warranty. Limitations apply. Visit choicehomewarranty.com for details. Call now, pound 250, keyword home warranty.
No payments until 2024 with approved credit. Visit nationstrucks.com right now.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
must reject this because this is behavior that we should encourage, I think, the thing that happened in this story, but people are pushing back against it. We all know what's going on with concerts right now because if you want to see somebody famous...
Did you just see my Facebook post?
No. What'd you post?
Son of a bitch.
Oh, are you going somewhere else?
I thought for sure you're going to call me out. I'm not going somewhere else necessarily, but I just did get to a point where I had to reach out to my Miami people where I was born and raised. Because Drake is going to be there next weekend.
Okay, that's exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh, really?
In this story.
It's insane the amount of money they're asking for tickets.
What numbers you were seeing? Because the person who went to this concert who got pissed off, she paid $700 a ticket.
The lowest I saw was in the 900s.
Yeah, and he does the whole thing with a hologram, and it's a big show that he's putting on out there. And there was somebody who went to go see Drake, paid $700 a ticket, and then a person in front of them had a big, giant yellow sign that they put up with a message on it for Drake. And they went through the crowd, and they went up behind him, and they ripped the sign in half, and completely ripped the sign in half. And I was like, good for you. Good for you. To hell with these people who think that you're going to buy tickets, and then you're going to block everybody behind you from being able to see what they paid $700 a seat for in a concert like this. So you have some stupid message that you think could get you attention from Drake.
Well,
Get out of here.
How close that person was. Would Drake have been able to see it? Were they close enough?
But look, this was a spot where it was a good seat. And they said you couldn't see what was on the sign because you just saw the back of it. But the folks who were behind this person couldn't see anything over this big-ass yellow sign that this person put up in the air. And the fan said, no, enough's enough. I'm not going to deal with this.
And then Adele comes out and it's like, stop bothering him. Let him enjoy the concert.
I mean, I look at this and go, if you're at a Beyonce show, if you're at a Taylor Swift show, if you're at a Drake show, if you're going to see anybody out there that you're paying any decent amount of money to, and you want to have somebody in front of you that blocks your view with the sign, and you're going to just be like, well, I guess we got to let them have their time.
What do you do with tall people then?
With tall people, you got to kind of work around it sometimes. Usually the seats are good enough so that it incorporates the ability to see over somebody who's taller.
Yeah, the stage should be high enough that the tall people don't immediately impede your vision.
But if somebody is putting their arms up in the air, like you have the length of your arms, and then you have this large construction paper sign that you've created that maybe goes up another 2 feet or so, and you're just blocking the vision for these people. And that's so you can have a better time. I just wanted to bring my message. Again, it's about the people around you. My God, the main character syndrome is the most fast-spreading disease in the United States of America, where everybody thinks it's just about them and their experience. And this is kind of similar to, we've seen at other shows where people will, stand up and film everything. People will do whatever they can to make their experience the best. People might be right next to you singing at the top of their lungs, and you'll go,
okay, but
come on.
There's a big difference there.
No, not really.
You're not allowed to sing.
No, you're very much allowed to sing. But there's people who they go as loud as they can.
I was, I think, subtly called out for that at a concert recently.
Oh, no. What did they say? It was like when Coolio called you out.
No. They said, you have a really great voice. And I went, there was the person in front of me, at the concert. And I went, I think that's code to shut up. That sounds like code to shut the F up.
I shall dial it down a little bit back here. You could sing along, you could party, you could dance, you could have fun. But when you sing so loud, I've seen people pulling up their phone at, let's say, a Billie Eilish show, and everybody else around them is screaming so loud that you can't even hear the performer on the stage. And then you go, I didn't pay to hear all you idiots sing. I paid to hear the person up on the stage sing. They're the talented one.
Absolutely. And I think that also has a lot to do with the house system, and how those speakers are blaring. My experience at the Beyonce concert in Tampa, which the seats were closer, I was amongst thousands of people surrounding me, all singing at the top of their lungs. And God, was it a good time. It was really cool to vibe with everybody and sing as loud as we could, but we had no problem hearing Beyonce.
Yeah,
so they did it right.
But I think it also depends on what the act is and like how loud that mix is. Because imagine you have a ballad or something. Sometimes that's not going to push through as loud as like, let's say 20,000 people.
All right. Well, you brought
singing back.
You brought up Billie Eilish, which is it's an interesting example because she has that whispery voice that she sings with.
Yeah,
so it's like if you're singing along at the top of your lungs, you could be overpowering the thing that she wants you to hear.
Loud. Yeah, except for there's a couple of songs where she really like drills down into it. A lot of it is like talking, speaking her way through this song. It's breathy, and that can be something that can get annoying. And people are going to only get more and more mad as the concerts get more expensive. $700, I expect more.
Did you see the list I sent you of Drake?
No, let me see. Hang on. Let me bring this up.
This is under the best seats category, but it's insane for one ticket.
This is for one ticket? Okay. Yeah. These are like the ideal seats that are left, mind you, right? Yeah. Like there's a lot of them that are good that are already swallowed up. $990, $2,500 for one ticket.
That's in the 100s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his stage does go 360. It's $2,000, and then I go to the lowest price category. Now we're in the nosebleed section.
So very, very top of the arena, and still not a great view.
And all I'm seeing right now is $400, $450, $499, $500, $525. So for $500 more, you get closer, and then some people are willing to pay $525 to not even see him.
What am I looking at here? Is this Ticketmaster?
Yes.
Okay, so this is through Ticketmaster.
Mm-hmm.
But is it a person selling it for higher than the face value of the tickets?
That's a great question.
Like
it
kind
seems
of
like
StubHub?
it is a lot of resale, like the official resales there. So,
right. I mean, I might be the only one who would be on board for just like crushing the pre-sale thing, so we don't have that anymore. It's created an unfair marketplace. The marketplace is unfair for the following reason: the people who get these seats to these shows, most of them are not human beings. They are bots. They have been scripted and created by people who are in the business of doing this. They go out there. They have tons of the bots that gobble up with different credit card numbers as many seats as they possibly can with zero intention of going to that show and every intention of making money afterwards by marking the price up. If everybody who bought a ticket, who was a human being, right? If there was, let's say Beyonce's got 22,000 Sabrinas in the audience that she's doing her show. All right. If every single one of them is a person like you and has purchased that ticket and those people want to sell their tickets for more afterwards, fine. But until you get it that way, I'm not down with it. Because now it's not that way. It's companies. It's all these people who are gobbling it up with bots that game the system.
And now I can't go to Drake.
And
I love Drake.
I've heard like as many as 70% of the tickets can sometimes be gobbled up by bots that crawl through and buy all of these.
But now I wonder, like, do I wait day of and see if something pops up and I just like take that short drive to Miami?
Somebody might get desperate. Yeah, people last minute will go, the tickets didn't sell for me. You'll have people last minute who learn that some emergency has come up and they want to put the tickets out there. If you're willing to risk it, last minute is always fine. In fact, have you seen the people doing that trend on TikTok?
Oh, I saw it with Beyonce.
Yeah, where they'll go, I'm going to let's say it's Drake. I'm going to the Drake concert tonight, and they'll just get dressed and they'll start walking, and they're hoping that on their way walking into the entrance, they see somebody scalping tickets that they get the tickets from, and then they either get in or they don't get in, but they have no clue if they're going to when they leave.
There's usually somebody. I just never trust it when it's like a printed out ticket, which I think they're getting rid of.
Mm-hmm. More of the digital based stuff, right? Like the.
And I don't know how the hell you scalp those at a concert. It's mostly like, grab them on SeatGeek or something.
Right. Well, they're about to do another reboots, and this one is a terrible idea, and it should be stopped immediately. But I'm interested to see what everybody else thinks. After years of speculation, a reboot of The Office is reported
Get out of here.
Finally going to happen.
Who's attached?
The original U.S. showrunner, Greg Daniels, is attached to return to this show. Obviously, this comes as the writer's strike is in the wrap-up phase. The actor's strike will probably be handled pretty quickly afterwards. But they're talking about it being in the same world, in the same overall universe as The Office, but not necessarily featuring the same characters.
Wasn't it like all female cast or something like that?
Not the one that I have seen so far. No, but it could be, unless there's more information on this. The one that I have seen said that it was going to be in the same universe, and they talked about how some original cast members of The Office had said they would be willing to come back and to do some things. But the ideas that they had afterwards were terrible. That's why they didn't do them. They were going to do a Schrute Farm show, and that's obviously didn't land well with test audiences. And they were going to do different things to keep it going, but they can't. And if you try to reboot something like this, the only reason I have a tiny little morsel of hope is the name Greg Daniels, because Greg Daniels
needs to get busy working on Upload, damn it.
Yeah.
I thought that was dead.
He's a talented guy. He's behind King of the Hill. He's behind The Office.
Bobby.
He's behind, as Celine just said, that Amazon show. He's behind tons of stuff that you've definitely seen over the years. And he's good. But to do this is one now because of Netflix, because of a younger generation getting on it, because of memes, where so many people view The Office in a special way. You could really screw this up.
I'd give it a go, though. I'd watch the first couple episodes.
Oh, I definitely watch it. No doubt about it. Like, I say this about everything. I want to like everything. Why would I not want to like something like that? Because now I get more shows. I give it a shot like everything else. But that's a tough one, man. Okay, we're going to have a couple of dispatches worked in here and see what's going on in your mind. Eskimo Brother is talking about the Karol G concert. Okay, we can hear from you.
What up, news junkies?
Hey.
Happy National Lobster Day.
Uh-oh.
Make sure you have some freaking lobster today. And Sean, I was at the Karol G concert last night, and I was upset because I was with one of my tails,
What?
And it took them at least an hour and a half for her to come out.
Mm-hmm.
I got the tickets for free. But I ain't gonna lie, there was so many beautiful women there last night.
This guy just sniping them out of the concert.
I was with one of my tails.
I was with one of my tails,
Waiting.
but there was still so many fine girls at the Karol G concert.
There's a lot of Latin women out last night.
I
guess so.
Didn't know Karol G was a woman until today.
Okay.
I've never heard of Karol G.
Have you heard,
I'm not into
Carol a male name?
The
Typically?
way that's spelled Karol, I think that if there was a man named Carol, I think it usually starts with a K.
I've never heard of a guy named Carol or Karol G, the
my
female
band's name. Guy named
singer.
Carol.
Sure, she's very talented though. If she could sell that many tickets, you got to give it to that. When we return, somebody just became the oldest slimming woman in the world, and we must celebrate with her. We always do this. She's very, very, very old, and she's got some secrets that got her there, as you would expect. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
You know you're going to waste part of your day on social media, so why not waste it with us? Real Radio 104.1 on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Hey, what's happening? I hope your Monday is going great so far. And right now, if you're behind the wheel on the major highways and roads of Orlando, seems like a couple of delays. Of course, your usual east and westbound on I-4 approaching State Road 535. But thankfully, the 408 is clear east and westbound. So is the Turnpike north and southbound, as well as the Greenway. Right now, there are incidents reported in the city. However, Cayley Street, and that's between Rio Grande Avenue and OBT at Nashville, and also Narcoossee southbound at Boggy Creek. Careful there. Our Safe Touch security line is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian Black.
This report is sponsored by Brightline Trains. Ride brighter with high-speed rail to South Florida. Experience premium lounge perks, roomier seats, and onboard meal and drink service with 16 daily departures to South Florida. Adult fares from $79. Kids from $39. Book now at GoBrightline.com.
All right, folks, my friends at Maxine's on Shine are here to make your week even better with Maxine's Mind Boggler. A big congratulations to last week's winner, Liz. Now, the first person to answer this riddle correctly wins a $25 gift card to Maxine's on Shine. Here is your riddle. Forwards, I am heavy. Backwards, I am not. What am I? Forwards, I am heavy. Backwards, I am not. What am I? If you know the answer, email me, Sabrina@realradio.fm. And the first person to send the correct answer wins a $25 gift card. If you don't win today's riddle, don't you worry. You got a shot every single week. Plus, you're going to feel like a winner every time you go to Maxine's on Shine. Voted best downtown Orlando restaurant 3 years in a row. Diverse, comfortable, and delicious with a splash of sexiness. For more information on location and reservations, go to maxinesonshine.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
When you shop here, you win here. Score the Wing Drive at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Buy now and make no payments for 6 months. Get 0% APR financing on the best team of Nissans anywhere. Sutherland Nissan Orlando. OrlandoNissan.com. Home of the lifetime warranty. See dealer for details.
Ow. Okay, it's all right. Let's just start over. And 1, and oh.
Ballroom dancing is a lot like saving for retirement.
Okay, class. Switch up partners.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's way easier with someone who knows the right moves. With Fairwinds Credit Union as your dance partner, you can glide into financial freedom by saving more and planning for your future. Visit fairwinds.org/together and become a member today. Fairwinds. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's hot. We all know that. Have you noticed your power bill is skyrocketing? The current cost of energy is the highest it's ever been, and it's probably going to just keep getting higher. Solar Source can change that for you. I recently took the plunge with Solar Source with my pool heater, and man, it's been a game changer. I love working with Solar Source. Solar Source has nearly 40 years in the business. They bring the power of the sun to over 6,000 Central Florida homes since 1984. Mine and my mom's and my sister's included. Solar Source makes it easy with a free estimate. Monster listeners, they have an online tool that lets you get your own solar estimate in just 30 seconds. No pressure, no salesman, just the facts. You can harness your own power and stop wasting thousands of dollars every year renting your electricity at higher and higher prices. Visit solarsource.com/monsters and see how easy it is to get your instant hassle-free quote. Solar Source, the most trusted name in solar. solarsource.com/monsters.
Are you experiencing tooth pain? Advanced Endodontics can help. With state-of-the-art care, experienced and compassionate staff, and 6 convenient locations throughout Central Florida, we make it easy to find the relief you need. We partner with well-known companies who offer great financing options, so you can achieve the smile of your dreams. And the best part is, no referrals are needed. Schedule your appointment today at ineedarootcanal.com. That's ineedarootcanal.com.
Mills Air is looking for experienced service techs. NATE certified is a plus, but not required. We have been in business for over 30 years right here in Central Florida. Great pay and benefits. Sign-on bonus depending on experience. Apply at millsair.com.
World-class fishing, crystal blue waters, endless sunshine. There's so much about Florida's waterways to enjoy. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission encourages you to take part in the National Spring Aboard campaign and take a boating safety course today. You can take the course in a classroom or online. Just make sure you take a course. The knowledge gained by taking a course will make you and your family and friends safer and allow you to have more fun out on the water. To learn more, visit Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission at myfwc.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Celebrate National Bourbon Heritage Month at Christner's Prime Steak and Lobster. Enhance your legendary dining experience with an array of Christner's custom bourbons. Try the new Heaven's Door barrel-aged old-fashioned cocktail and enjoy the signature Heaven's Door profile of sweet citrus and dry spice, followed by allspice and a hint of sherry. Ask your server or our in-house sommelier for custom bourbon selections and pairings. Every day is a special occasion at Christner's. Visit Christner'sPrimeSteakandLobster.com for reservations.
Work trucks, lifted trucks, diesels, and 4x4s, Nations Trucks has got them all. And with approved credit, you're not making any payments until 2024. Do yourself a favor. Visit nationstrucks.com and check out their awesome inventory. Start driving the truck that you deserve today.
SafeTouch offer modern options to secure your home or business with just a tap on your phone, watch, or tablet. Right now, buy one outdoor camera with 24/7 recording, get one free. Visit safetouch.com. SafeTouch, peace of mind with a purpose. State license number EF2001945.
Heard of the job? Dial pound 529 on your cell. Pound law, that's all.
Let me tell you a true story. This weekend in town, there was an event called Crime Con. It's a convention about crime, criminal cases, murder podcasts, you know, that whole world that has just exploded in popularity. Everybody knows somebody who listens to all the different murder podcasts. I think it might be waning a little bit in popularity now, but it's still a big thing, and people are interested in true crime. They long have been. But one of the things they were doing at this crime convention was they had a panel where an expert was going through all of the evidence and information in the Idaho murders case, which is one of that. We've followed this case.
I need to catch up with that crazy chick.
Yeah, Brian Kohlberger was the suspect who they believe murdered these 4 people. We have had this psychopath on a couple of times, a self-admitted psychopath, that is in love with Brian Kohlberger and stands by him through all of this. But they get up there and they're talking through what is gruesome and, you know, pretty gory, just the details of this story. I have heard some details of this story that I haven't heard like on record anywhere that are really vile, the things that were possibly done to the bodies of one of the people that was killed in this case in Idaho. But they go over all this, and this is an expert on the stage. And then the expert says, let's open it up here at Crime Con to a Q&A about the Idaho murder victims. And people start lining up. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Question, answer, question, answer. And then somebody steps up to the microphone, and she says, hi, I am Ethan Chapin's mom. Whoa. He's one of the 4 that were murdered by Brian Kohlberger. And my son was lost as a result of all of this. And she said, and I was like, at that point of the story, I go, which way is she going? Is she going to be like, shame on all of you for creating a culture where you obsess over the murder of human beings and get your rocks off by being entertained by other people's grieving and horror? And she didn't go that way. She said, I didn't get to hear all of your performance, all of your presentation here today because it was too much for me. But she said, I do want to say that everybody that I've met at this event today has been very gracious and kind to me. And she said, I want you to all know the other side of this. And so then she proceeded to tell the crowd at Crime Con about her son and what kind of person he was, and about her son's friends and what kind of human beings they were, and told them about beyond that night, beyond what happened in the 24 hours that police are so heavily interested in, and just said, thank you, and I wanted you to know there was more to my son than just this.
First off, Mr. D Vans on Twitch says, CrimeCon sounds like a sting operation to catch stupid criminals, which that does ring kind of true. But also, I think it would be like incredibly roll of the dice to even have a relative like that as a guest at CrimeCon, because you never know until they're on stage talking. Like, did they agree to do this the whole time just so they could turn around and pull a big "how dare you" on this, or
yeah,
what?
And she wasn't expected. She wasn't on stage. Nobody knew she was going to be there. Like,
they didn't book her?
No.
Bro.
She just happened to be she went there on her own and stepped up like any other member of the audience to address everybody. And I think we can all agree that if she would wanted to have run down the event and all the people at that event, she'd had a pretty powerful argument to do so. But instead, she went the other route, and she said, I just want you to know that we miss all these kids terribly, and we want you to know more about them as human beings, not just about the death of them. And I thought that was pretty wild that she did that. And I also thought that was pretty brave of her. I don't know that I would ever want to do that. I don't know that I would ever want to be around that or address that if a loved one was killed that way. It's just so different. Like for me, both of my parents died in the last decade or so, years now. Like it's been a while, but yeah, I think that's so different than the grieving process that you go through if somebody is murdered,
right?
Especially your kid. Oh God!
I mean, even there's like a difference in murder that is never solved, or the suspect is still on the loose, and then you have the guy right there in front of you, and you have a bunch of people who are idolizing him.
Yeah,
like I don't know.
Weird.
It's very brave to do, but I can also see myself like there is nothing to do with bravery at that point. Like, what do I have to lose? I've already lost everything. I'm going to speak my mind.
Oh, my God. I don't know if this is true or not, but Carter on YouTube says, my mom was at CrimeCon and she ran into Nancy Grace in the bathroom. Oh, Nancy Grace, Christ almighty.
Miss that lady.
I don't know what she's up to anymore, but she was, you want to talk about a grifter. She was the worst of that type. The
devil has danced tonight.
But she was smart to do this. She was big on branding. She always had nicknames. Like, didn't she call Casey anything? Top Mom, right? And like just nicknames for everybody.
The devil is dancing tonight was what she was saying coming back from her commercial breaks after Casey Anthony was found not guilty.
My God. All right, let's do it. We always do. It's her birthday, and she is 117 years old. Yay! Too old even for Smuckers. They said the world's oldest living woman celebrated her 117th birthday with her 107-year-old sister in Brazil. Look at this family going. Cesara Maria dos Santos was born in 1906, makes her 111 years old. They're working on confirming her date of birth, and that would make her 1 year older than the current Guinness World Record holder, Maria Branes Morera, 116 from Spain.
Just taking her word for it that she was born that year?
No, they had a birth certificate and an ID card that they had from her. But I guess Guinness goes deep, and they have to compare it with some records and stuff and show that this is actually the age of this person. They said, "The peace of Lord be upon us. Who can do more than God?"
And also with you.
Everything is God, she said. So you've got to be religious if you want to live to 117. And her sister said, she's 107, you have to eat beans, corn, cassava, and potatoes. That's what gets you to that
So she's been
age.
crapping herself for decades.
Maybe getting it through your body real fast is the secret to an extended life like that. And you get to be 1 billion years old, or the oldest in the world, which I'll pass on that one.
Same.
I don't think I want to get that old. I'll get to a nice, healthy age if possible. Let's go over to Insecure Walrus, talking about scalping tickets to shows.
I am the absolute worst at moving tickets that I bought and couldn't use. I accidentally bought 9 tickets to see Paul McCartney in an effort to try to get 4 that were 3 that were next to each other, so myself and my parents could go. I wound up selling a couple to somebody I knew. I sold an extra one to somebody literally at the venue, and then I gave one to a friend because I just couldn't get rid of them. I tried to go see Weird Al one time, and I bought the wrong VIP package. I wanted to meet him, and I accidentally bought the silver package because I thought it included that, and then I realized it didn't. Oh. And I had a lady that wanted to buy them, and she didn't. And so I literally went to the venue and stopped a guy with his little daughter and was like, hey, I don't know where your seats are, but they're probably not as good as these. Would you like to use them?
Oh, that's
nice. And they
nice.
Didn't want, I literally had 2 different people turn me down.
Yeah, you know what? When you go up to somebody in public
It's
and you're
sketchy.
like, yeah, you think you're like, what's going on here? What's the trick?
Which kind of sucks, right?
Yeah, what's the scam?
Everybody's expecting that hilarious fake Mr. Beast prank where they told the father and son that they could fill their shopping cart at the Walmart and Mr. Beast would pay for it.
That's sad that it's that way, but it totally is. Courtney did this one time with, she was going to try to go see Aziz Ansari, and she got all ready and, got done up and drove to Tampa to go see Aziz Ansari. And once she got there, she realized that he was performing that night in Hollywood, Florida, not Tampa, Florida, in a different Hard Rock altogether. And that's where you just go, ooh. Well, we'll take the L here and just try to make it home.
I got a text from my friend, somebody at TickPick, which is...
What'd you just say?
TickPick.
Watch your mouth.
I've sent a couple of those.
TickPick was reporting that before the news of Messi not playing in Orlando, somebody purchased 2 tickets in row A, section 35, for $1,220 a piece.
Oh, man!
They spent over $2,400 total on the 2 tickets. And then found out Messi was not going to play.
That's rough. Yeah. And it happened in Atlanta, too, I think. They got surprised over there, too. Here is Jan Pinn coming to C-Lane's defense on the Carol topic.
Hello, news junkies.
Hey.
I want to tell you
Are we
that
in a
my
bag
first
of chips?
husband's name was Carol. Carrol.
Her first husband's name was Carol.
So there are men named Carol. What about Carol O'Connor?
Yeah.
He's a famous actor.
Oh, I love that guy.
Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
Carol O'Connor's great. Oh, this all the.
What was your favorite movie of Carol?
Oh, I couldn't even pick one because this is too close to my heart. Strangers in the Night was good. I think that one was
sounded
good.
Confident, and I appreciate it.
A Hamburger Love Story was.
And it's gone.
Supreme. That was a very, very, very touching picture. And it was also in Butt Boy, believe it or not. Not a lot of people know that, but that is a little secret that you'll learn if you watch the movie. Little Carol O'Connor cameo in the background. Here's Swilly talking about Game of Magnets.
Hey, happy today.
Hey.
So I remember the great paper magnet controversy that stemmed from the graffiti design not receiving waterproofing.
Yep, we're past that.
The waterproofing feature.
Thankfully.
And I thought it was just limited to that one, but I accidentally left my moon magnet on the back of my work truck over the weekend. I came back and tried to peel it off, and it completely melted in my hands. So I was just wondering, are there other designs that I should, let's say, coddle a little bit more than others because they too suffer the same paper magnet disorder or PMD?
That's not a thing.
Okay. Goodbye.
I don't know, Swilly. I think it's only those two because they switched the machine up on me and they didn't tell me. And I said, hey, all of a sudden I'm getting complaints.
Yeah, what the heck?
Magnet people.
What's this about, Carol?
What's going on with the magnet process? Has something changed? And they said, yes, we changed. And I said, use the other machine. Don't ever do that to me again. And now they're back to good. So you don't have any more of that magnet syndrome thing you were talking about.
All right, I finally found it because I knew that there was a famous man whose given name was Carol.
Who is it?
With a K.
Yeah.
And it was actually the original name of Pope John Paul II.
Oh, wow. All right.
Oh, he was Carol before all the Pope stuff?
Carol Joseph
Just because
Wojtyla.
you change a C with a K doesn't make it, any less feminine.
Wow. Oh,
Sorry.
Unbelievable. All the
I said
Carols out there,
hot
funnel
take.
your emails right over to Sabrina.
They're
Just tell her how
probably
you
all
feel.
in their 80s. And
Yeah,
thank you
it's-
for listening.
It's not popular right
Thank you
now.
for listening.
Quick break. When we come back, final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today, I learned to wrap everything up for a Monday. That's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
A Florida woman is accused of using a romance scam to take a Holocaust survivor's life savings.
This one is unbelievable.
Ding, ding, ding. Your special place in hell is ready.
That's how wild we are.
She was 32.
This guy survived Hitler and then fell defeat to a Floridian.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your Central Florida forecast. Afternoon highs today will be nearing 90 degrees. Hot and humid before showers and thunderstorms move in mainly after 2-3 o'clock. Heavy rain, frequent lightning, gusty winds, and even the chance for small hail will be possible. Do make sure you're staying weather aware and depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Klein tools are new at Lowe's. Right now, get the new Klein 3-piece ModBox mobile workstation exclusively at Lowe's for just $319.94. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Jeep Adventure Days is going on now. Hurry in for great deals on a great selection of Jeep brand vehicles. Well-qualified returning FCA lessees get a low mileage lease on the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x2 for $409 a month for 39 months with $2,999 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Chrysler Capital. Current lease must end by 9/30/24. Extra charge for miles over 32,500. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 10/2. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Today's Central Florida job market is more competitive than ever, but don't be discouraged. Attend the Florida Jobs Now Job Fair Wednesday, October 11th, noon to 4 p.m. at the Orlando Science Center, and connect with over 70 recruiters right here in Central Florida, some even offering on-the-spot interviews. Your next career is right in front of you. Join us at the Florida Jobs Now Job Fair Wednesday, October 11th, noon to 4 p.m. at the Orlando Science Center, located at 777 East Princeton Street in Orlando. Get more info at floridajobsnow.com.
Start your family on the path to better oral health with Quip electric toothbrushes. Each Quip toothbrush has a built-in 2-minute timer that pulses every 30 seconds to help you clean your mouth evenly. Plus, Quip is water-resistant, runs for 3 months on a single charge, and starts at just $20. Begin a lifetime of good habits with the Quip electric toothbrush, accepted by the American Dental Association to help reduce plaque and gingivitis. Right now, get your first floss tip refill free at getquip.com/radio. That's getquip.com/radio.
To suffer from allergies as an adult, but it's really tough on kids running around with sniffles or stuffy nose during recess or practice. Not to mention, it's hard to concentrate in school when you're not feeling well, and then you feel bad because you forgot to give them their allergy meds before they left. All of that can be a thing of the past thanks to Aspire Allergy and Sinus. They've helped thousands, including children, with their kid-friendly allergy testing and pain-free allergy drops. Schedule your appointment today while the kids are out of school. Go to AspireAllergy.com. That's AspireAllergy.com.
Stella Artois wants to know, who would you have dinner with? Join the Stella team at The Whiskey on Sand Lake Road this Friday, September 29th from 6 until 8 for an opportunity to let them know who you'd have dinner with, from the past, present, or future, and why. Then start your dinner with a complimentary Stella Artois and chalice. Simply snap the QR code for details on your chance to win dinner on Stella from one of 10 participating restaurants. Let's do dinner, and as always, let's start with a Stella.
Gatorade and the Orlando Magic know that the best use the best. That's why they're partnering to reward deserving youth basketball teams in Central Florida in the Gatorade Gear Contest. One boy and one girl's youth basketball team will each win basketball shoes and Gatorade gear. Do you know a deserving team? Visit OrlandoMagic.com/Gatorade to nominate them today. No purchase necessary. Contest ends October 1st. For full rules, visit OrlandoMagic.com/Gatorade.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get a 10-pack of our best-selling sauces with free shipping at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
Final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We do love you and appreciate you. And if you missed any of the show, go get that podcast on the website where you can learn more about the show and you can learn about things like secret shows. There's a new one that came out this weekend, as always. And you can send dispatches. So the whole website done, ready for you, and available at thenewsjunkie.com. I hope you go take a look. And when you go there, you can see this, too, because I was just watching this during the break. They just started up the 2023 Asian Games in China. And remember when they just had, like, real simple intros to these things, like the Olympics? So it'd be like, all the countries are together and somebody's singing a song or something.
And they had Queen Elizabeth launched from a helicopter and everything changed.
I think so, right around there. Or like the Beijing year, I think, when they did the, there was just some incredible performances that were done with various technologies. This is how they opened up the 2023 Asian Games, and the visual is up for everybody on thenewsjunkie.com in the See It Now section. Check this out, all right? Look at this thing.
Whoa.
They can all
That's
see this
awesome.
thing, and the water really moves like that when it goes by.
But
and
is that just what's on TV, or people that are
No.
there are
in the
seeing
stadium, they see this too.
That's
This
cool.
gigantic character running with a torch, and the water, splashes up wherever it lands. And then you got one of the guys who's
that guy's
a
arm is
competitor.
so weird.
This competitor guy lights off the torch that's now unfurling in front of them. And then the big giant, I don't know what it is, it's not AI, it's just CG, I guess. But they can see the hologram of this person. It's unbelievable. It's so strange now how far this has all gone. But check that out. Do take a moment of your time later when you remember and go over to thenewsjunkie.com. It's a pretty next level.
I thought you were going to say that was like made of drones or something. Like something crazy. Like where did it all come from?
That is just like the holographic thing they do for the Drake show, which I learned, and unless this person on social media was lying to me, there's an actual actor who plays the part of the Dre hologram, and he sits right where the hologram is, and that's how he's able to hand Drake the book in that one scene during the show. Because otherwise you see a hologram handing Drake a book, and you go, wait a second, I didn't think they were able to do that. Let's go to the final dispatch that we will play for you today, and it's the Drunken Mailman.
Hey, News Junkies. Happy Monday through the rest of the week. Well, I hope this old woman enjoys her 118th birthday, because now we know for sure she ain't going to make it to 119.
Why? She could.
We all put the curse of death on her. Nice going.
That was
I'm sure she was a
Sean, not
lovely
us.
woman. And maybe hot 70 years ago. Wiggle, wiggle.
Even 70
You
years
okay,
ago.
bro?
She's still 47 or something. I know I screwed that math up, I think. I don't know. She's old. She's 117. That's pretty damn old.
Baby.
All right, let's do the stories that didn't make the cut. Brought to you by Nations Trucks. Love our friends over there. Go get the truck of your dreams. It's waiting for you right on the lot at nationstrucks.com. They did it again, friends. A groundbreaking transplant of a pig heart into a living recipient is performed for the second time ever. This was at University of Maryland Medical Center. It was done on Friday. They said the 58-year-old patient, Lawrence Fawcett, is currently breathing on his own, and his heart is functioning well without any assistance from supportive devices.
Wasn't the first person a prisoner, or was that a different organ that they replaced?
I think it was a prisoner.
I forgot. They were going to die, though.
Right.
The
And they
person,
did.
So was this person. Yeah, they did eventually. They lived for a little while, longer than they maybe thought they could have. But Fawcett, this person, had end-stage heart disease. He had pre-existing peripheral vascular disease and complications with internal bleeding, making him ineligible for a traditional heart transplant, they said. So they admitted him to the hospital, and they put the old pig heart in him. And so
imagine
far, so good.
A fly on that waiting room wall is like, all right, we've got an idea. Can we throw it at you? How would
Good
you
news
like
and bad news.
a pig heart in your
Yeah.
belly?
You'll take it if that's the only option you got. I'll say, give me the pig heart. Let's see what happens here. Let's roll the dice.
What if you're the person who has to bring the pig in?
Just, I don't want to see the
That'll do,
pig.
That'll do.
Please pretend it's a real organ from a real human. That's what I want. All right, let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Monday, September 25th, 2023. Today I Learned sponsored by J. David Tax Law. Peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away. Today I Learned in this show right here.
Futurama.
Futurama is correct. Stephen Hawking does the voice acting, or did the voice acting, for his own appearances in Futurama. He also did it for The Simpsons. So Family Guy reached out and said, hey, Stephen Hawking, will you do that for your character on Family Guy? And he said, no, I don't like Family Guy. And didn't do it on their show.
Smartest person in the world doesn't like That's a little bit of a...
It hurts. Taylor, the average adult human brain can accumulate the equivalent of 2.5 million gigabytes of memory. That's how strong our storage database is and the brains that we have. Now, we probably won't use that much, and mine certainly is at a lower capacity on account of all the drinking and whatnot. But your brain is actually very powerful.
Not
thing.
so solid state storage, though.
No.
A little gummy.
Mine needs a cleaning, I think, a thorough cleaning. Today I learned this lady right here.
Kelly Clarkson.
That's right, Kelly Clarkson, who sang with some person doing karaoke in Vegas who was singing her song. And the person in Vegas who was singing her song didn't recognize that it was Kelly Clarkson for a little bit.
Awkward.
Kelly Clarkson didn't want to win American Idol because the winner was contractually bound to make a musical rom-com, which, if you didn't ever see this...
From Justin to Kelly?
Brilliant.
Oh.
It is the most underrated film of our time.
It's something, yeah. I can see why she didn't want to do that one. Her music is beautiful, though. She's got a hell of a voice.
Huge fan.
And I'm sure she'll be back on television very soon. What with the writer's strike wrapping up, that's good news for her, right? She's got a show, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson has a
Well,
show.
lister's a warm-up guy.
All right.
Good
All right.
friend
Today I
Ruben.
learned this guy right here, or this band.
Ransom. From Misfits.
The Ramones.
The Ramones is right. Today I learned the average length of a Ramones concert at CBGB's in 1974 was just 17 minutes long.
What?
It was based on 74 performances they had at CBGB's, and they're fast. Their songs don't last very long, and all of them together, I guess, don't go for much more than 17 minutes sometimes. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Lots of great talk on the way. Keep it right here, and we'll see you tomorrow.